Asphalt, Brothers in Arms, and Gangstar, it's safe to say you've heard about the company, Gameloft. It's one of the largest gaming companies in the world and is renowned for developing high-quality mobile games. But for quite some time, it has marked a decline, as observed by falling revenue and its games failing to draw people's interest. So what went wrong with Gameloft, which was considered one of the biggest mobile gaming companies around 2014 to 15, but is bleeding money at present? Let's learn about its rise and fall in today's video. First of all, let's discuss the origins of Gameloft. It was Michel Guillemot who founded the company in 1999. What you might not be aware of is that he was a co-founder of Ubisoft as well. It was essentially 5 brothers who came to found Ubisoft, and the Guillemot family was previously into agriculture, then computers, and now they've got this video game business. Anyway, Gameloft would go on to become the best mobile game studio in the world, with its games running into hundreds of millions of downloads and raking in big money. Let's have a closer look at how its games could achieve such success. Now, one common thing about a lot of Gameloft games is that they are inspired by some other PC or console game. For instance, the Gangstar series draws heavily from GTA, and we get to see similar 3D open-world crime games. Zombie Infection shares a likeness with Resident Evil 5, and the Nova series is inspired by Halo, and Shadow Guardian from Uncharted. The list is fairly long. Although they were dubbed as clones of popular games, they suffered little competition since no developer made such fine games for the mobile platform, and this became their USP, where they brought out games resembling popular titles that people on their mobile phones could enjoy. Naturally, this drew some backlash, like in November 2011, when Mitchell was asked to comment on their games being called out as clones. He answered that the video game industry rarely witnesses new concepts, and that in a year, only 1 or 2 fresh ideas surface, around which games are built. Whether you agree with this reasoning or not, it is a fact that Gameloft titles, despite being clones, are top-notch. They have well-polished gameplay and offers a decent experience, sometimes even better than the original title. One thing we can all appreciate is that Gameloft did not monetize their games with advertisements. Now, a mobile game generates income by carrying ads, microtransactions, or retailing. Among the three, the developers steered clear of ads since they didn't want to ruin our experience, especially in the campaign game genre that Gameloft focus on. I mean, you could be merrily progressing in the game and suddenly a 30-second commercial would completely upset the flow. As such, where other games were making millions from ads, Gameloft believed that it would only encourage players to switch to a rival game. But it wasn't as if they relied on microtransactions, which were very few. They mainly retailed their games, where one had to make a payment for downloading the game. And that was it! This is why they made more money off the iOS editions, as someone who can afford an iPhone can spare a few bucks to acquire a game too. Between quantity and quality, Gameloft surely went with the latter. It's true that they have produced more than 190 games, but even then they try to focus on quality to offer the best possible experience to mobile gamers. In 2014, they said that their primary focus would be on quality. Then, the company produced a wide range of games, unlike From Software, which brought out exclusively Soulsborne titles, or Rockstar Games, which kept to the open-world crime genre. Gameloft was developing every kind of game, be it racing or FPS, open-world, or even casual ones. Consequently, they enjoyed a much wider and more diverse consumer base. So these were the reasons behind the splendid success of Gameloft. But then, what followed in 2014 to 15 that contributed to its downfall? I'll elaborate. There was a time when Gameloft used to proudly declare that their games didn't carry ads, but that approach came back to bite them, as they were seemingly not making enough. On the one hand, they were creating high-end games that required a lot of investment, but on the other, they did not fetch much. As such, profits dwindled and many had to suffer losses. Eventually, they set up Gameloft Advertising Solutions to run ads in their games. Also, trends were shifting the mobile gaming sphere. While Gameloft kept releasing campaign games that were not free to play, freemium games had taken over that could be downloaded for free, and once the players got hooked on them, generated revenue from ads or microtransactions. More recent games included skins and other cosmetic items that were available for purchase, and battle passes were being given out for money. As a result, premium games from Gameloft lost out in sales. That's why, as you can see, the gangster games, which were earlier downloaded by paying money, can now be downloaded for free. But yeah, they now include ads and microtransactions. Gameloft's fall from glory is largely attributed to its hostile takeover by Vivendi. The French mass media giants had been aggressively seeking to expand into gaming. Before 2013, they owned Activision Blizzard, which split to become an independent publisher. With Gameloft, they uncharitably bought it over. This was during 2015 to 16, when Gameloft reported losses of over 16 million euros, and was forced to close down 7 of their studios within a year. So the company was in dire financial straits when Vivendi appeared on the scene with a helping hand. But Michel Guillemot was unaware of their real intentions. To begin with, Vivendi acquired a stake of 6% in Gameloft, then 10%, and by the end of February 2016, they had bought 30% of the company. Michel came to realize that Vivendi wouldn't stop there, and pleaded with shareholders not to sell shares they owned. But by June, Vivendi had acquired a 56% stake in the company to become the majority shareholder. This prompted Michel to quit Gameloft and go over to Ubisoft, as it had dawned upon him that the takeover was the first move in a grand scheme to buy out Ubisoft. Not long after, 96% of Gameloft's shares had gone to Vivendi. Now, the thing is, when the entire upper-tier management is swept, a company can often take a different turn in business. They adopt a different direction when creating new games. Gameloft, too, witnessed a change of course. It began to pursue modern trends. For instance, taking forward the Nova series, which had been immensely popular. Fans were widely anticipating the release of Nova Legacy. It came out, but not quite to their liking. It had few campaign missions, and the entire push was toward microtransactions, as is vogue these days. Thus, the game did not appeal to true fans of the series. Alongside this, they halted updates on formerly released games. Now, mobile games require regular updates to render them compatible with newer handsets and to keep players interested. But faced with losses, they decided to pull the plug on certain games, like Nova 3, which is no longer available on mobile phones. Likewise, many fan favorites were retired. Apart from this, the competition in the market has also increased a lot. Previously, only a handful of mobile gaming studios existed, such as Rovio, Zynga, and King. But, presently, a good many have come up. So, many mobile games are being developed in China, mostly by Tencent and NetEase. Even giant publishers have directed attention to the mobile gaming platform, like Activision bringing out COD Mobile, and Ubisoft porting its games to handheld devices. Similarly, many big PC and console games are being released for mobile. As such, the initial strategy that worked for Gameloft, bringing out clones of popular games, might not work as well today. But it's not all downhill for Gameloft. Although their revenue has shrunk, their games continue to receive 1.5 million downloads every day and each month. More than 70 million people play them. The acquisition by Vivendi did land them in difficulties, with games going down in quality and the company not faring well. But things are much better now. In other news, the company is branching out to the PC platform. Disney Dreamlight Valley was their first PC game that saw fair success. And whereas other mobile gaming companies were losing revenue, Gameloft actually saw growth. Another thing that it had going for them was that since they brought out high-quality games, players on PC and consoles thought to try their debut game, expecting the same level of brilliance. In spite of their decline on the mobile platform, they're geared to expand into gaming across PC and console. Gangstar New York is a testimony to that. So, that was the story of Gameloft. To learn of such a story about Hill Climb Racing 3, click on the video to the left. And to know how China controls our gaming industry, watch the video on the right. If you enjoyed this one, add a like and subscribe.
Oh, hey, look, someone left a comment under my Call of Duty Zombies video. I wonder what he's got to say.
What an absolute idiot you have to be to make a video on the evolution of zombies, but leave out half of the zombie games.
Okay, the video was more about the...
Dislike plus L plus mid video plus your accent gay.
Oh, right then. Yeah, I think that's enough YouTube comments for today. I mean, does anyone really care that I left out... Huh? Oh, no. Oh, no! Okay, I guess I messed up. We're doing this. It's time to jump back in. Hi everybody, if the title and intro haven't made it obvious yet, today's the day that I'll be going through and review every single Zombies mode that was not developed by Treyarch, and also every single port mode or other thing that Call of Duty has had at any point in the past, because if I leave those out, then I'll no doubt have another shitstorm of comments like I've had on the previous one. That is, if this video gets any views, at least. With how little I upload nowadays, every video I post is a gamble. Maybe I really should quit while I'm still ahead.
How are you ahead though? Your channel is already dead. What are you talking about?
To catch you up on the short story, the reason I'm posting this now is because a while back, I had that video on the creation, evolution, and exhaustion of the Call of Duty Zombies mode. And in that video, I thought it would be most fair to only look at the Treyarch-made Zombies mode, because, well, my line of thinking was that Zombies started with Treyarch had changed it the most, and it currently is also still in the hands of Treyarch. But of course, just because the game mode started with Treyarch, and just because they made a lot of changes, that doesn't mean that the other studios that have been working on Call of Duty games also haven't pushed out some real gems that definitely deserve to be looked at. And so this video is finally me correcting myself by going over every last thing that I missed. And I'm taking you along for the ride, because I played all of these for the very first time in my life. So let's begin this journey with Modern Warfare 3, because while this game doesn't have a zombie mode, it does have survival, which is a similar type of horde mode, but instead of fighting zombies, you're fighting humans with guns.
This game really makes you feel like Call of Duty.
This one was developed by Infinity Ward and Ravensoft. I think Sledgehammer also worked on this title, but as far as I could find online, they only did work on the campaign. So I think that Infinity Ward was the main developer here for survival. And what this game mode comes down to is just a simple reuse of the multiplayer maps, but if players fight waves and waves of NPCs instead of other players, which results in higher KDs, but also less exciting post-game lobbies.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking pussy.
The first and most obvious advantage that reusing the multiplayer maps has is that there are a lot of maps to pick from. 16 at launch, in fact, which is far more than any zombie mode ever shipped with. The obvious downside of that is that most of these maps play extremely similar to one another, with the only difference being the difficulty level that's assigned to them, which just determines how many helicopters and how many juggernauts spawn into the map. Beating round 1 always gives you the weapon armory, which allows you to buy new weapons. Beating round 2 gives you the equipment armory, which is useful for take a wild guess. And then after round 3, you can buy kill streaks and friendly AI spots, because apparently they cannot extract you from your location.
Dave, we cannot get to you. I repeat, you are on your own.
But they are more than happy to send in half a dozen of helicopters to drop off ground support. Thanks, Obama. The biggest change in terms of pacing compared to your usual zombies mode... Huh? Hello?
Why did you say my name?
What?
Did I fucking stutter? Why did you say my name?
I was just making a joke for one of my YouTube videos.
Oh, for your YouTube videos? You're making one of those shitty YouTube videos again?
They're not shitty. I actually get quite a couple of views.
When are you finally going to do something useful with your life, huh? You're 28 years old, getting fatter by the day. The only thing you were ever decent at is making cheesy builds in a Ubisoft game that died 2 months after its
This
release.
is all really uncalled for.
Uncalled for? Jesus Christ. Michelle's disabled dog has more bite than this. Why don't you do us all a favor and head to the nearest Best Buy to get a nice thick rope and cosplay as one of Logan Paul's props for his next
Okay,
video?
I'm going to have to hang up now, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I got your IP. You mentioned my name again. We're going to be playing against bots for the rest of your life.
Okay,
You hear me?
that's
Pathetic
great.
fucking loser.
He's usually not like this, guys. He's just going through a rough time right now. So yeah. The biggest change in terms of pacing compared to your usual zombies mode is that in survival, all of the enemies spawn in at the start of the round. Of course, with the zombies game mode, this would be impossible because the engine can only handle so many zombies at the same time. And in the later rounds, there are hundreds of them. But the survival game mode just keeps the enemies at 25 or something around that number, and it makes them much more aggressive as you get into the higher rounds. And not just more aggressive, it makes them beefier, it gives them more damage, more accuracy, and also more movement speed. It might sound like a small change, but it means that the intensity of a round is always at the highest right when it starts. And that every kill that you can get early on makes a big difference in whether you're able to survive or not. Because if you let them all stack up and just camp in the corner waiting for them to walk all over you, it works up until a certain round. But once the enemies get too tanky, you'll just get mowed down.
Oh my god, how many fucking nades are you throwing?
That wasn't me. I didn't throw any nades. It's funny because it means that as the rounds go up, the gameplay gets more and more similar to the late rounds in Zombies, where you're constantly forced to run away and just spray the horde of enemies that is running after you. Another thing to note here as well is that I found the player economy to be quite a bit better than in Zombies sometimes, because everybody knows that in Zombies, if you get your perks and your weapons, that is kind of just it, and there's not much more to spend your money on. It's not uncommon for players to amass a ridiculous amount of points that you then can't really do anything with. But in Survival, you can't really purchase permanent perks. Instead of Juggernaut, you'll have to buy armor, and that armor depletes if you take damage. And in the later rounds, you are going to take damage. So you'll find yourself constantly having to reinvest. And the same is true for turrets that you can buy, flashbangs, self-revives, anything that isn't a weapon that you can buy pretty much. On the contrary though, the weapon economy in this game is quite horrible, and the only weapons that you really want to go for are the LMGs.
The fast time to kill combined with a new set of weapons allow...
Ammo economy aside, spraying and praying is really the name of the game here. And the one simple reason for that is flinch. Ever heard of it? This game has a lot of it. And this makes it very, very difficult to use precision weapons. It could, of course, also just be in part a little bit of a skill issue. I'm sure there are some cracked Call of Duty sniper players that could make it work, but the flinch is making it really, really difficult, especially because there's 20 of these enemies that all spawn in at the same time, and if just one guy hits a random bullet on you from across the map, your aim goes all over the place. That's not so much a problem with the LMGs because you're not very much scoped in and you're spraying away anyway, but when you're scoped in, trying to hit headshots, it's a different story. I mean, snipers have always been pretty bad in zombies, but at least they were intentionally bad. You gotta have some trash in the mystery box to make the good weapons feel that much better. But here in survival, when you can just buy whatever weapon you want, it just takes away even more variety from the game mode. Now, I know I shouldn't be looking too much into this because, after all, survival was just a small edition that never even got enough development time for its own dedicated map. It was never intended to be a flagship game mode. So that is what it is. I'm just gonna leave it here. You know what is a flagship game mode, though? It is the next thing that Infinity Ward worked on. The game mode that came with everybody's favorite Call of Duty.
Oh, God.
Of course, the game mode that I'm talking about is Alien Extinction. And I know, yeah, technically Alien Extinction isn't a horde mode even, because it plays out more like story missions where you go through a level carrying around this drill to slowly progress through and fight stronger and stronger aliens. But as I said at the start of the video, I'm including it anyway just to avoid having another shitstorm of comments that tell me how much of an idiot I am. The short story of it is that you go through the map in a linear fashion, you carry a drill from point A to point B to point C until you eventually reach the end of the map. The stick of it is that you're not supposed to be able to get there first try, and where the developers were hoping to get their replay value is with the class system. Every time that you play a game, you get some more XP and you unlock some more stuff that you can then put in your loadout, which will then allow you to load back in with stronger or just straight up different abilities that will synergize with the rest of the team better. It sounds nice on paper, but it has a couple of issues. Of course, the whole team play aspect aside, you know, it's not as much fun to do this solo when the whole game mode is designed around a group of 4 players, which is already the first big difference from the traditional zombies mode. But also, if the goal is just to beat the map, then, well, the moment that you do that, there's nothing else to do. This is not like zombies where every game can be different thanks to a more open-ended map layout and a whole bunch of RNG factors. Here, in Alien Extinction, you go in with a winning loadout, and aside from some of the challenges that you have to complete during a match, every match plays out exactly the same. You cannot do speed runs because the drill always takes the same amount of time. You can't go for high rounds because the end of the map is the end of the map, and there are some smaller Easter eggs for sure, but there's nothing like a Black Ops type of Easter egg questline. Anyway, besides the replay value issues, the first time experience through also isn't that interesting because you're basically doing the same thing over and over and over. Carry the drill, put the drill down, fight off enemies. Carry the drill, put the drill down, fight off enemies. And you'd think that adding more maps into the mix would solve this problem, and it does to some degree. Because the 4 new maps that were added over the course of Call of Duty Ghosts' lifespan, they were a really nice change of pace. It added all sorts of extra mechanics, like having to fight a boss at the end, very similar to a Destiny 2 dungeon. But also there's blueprints which allow you to make special weapons that aren't going to be part of your loadout. For some of these maps, the first time through, it's actually a lot of fun, and there's not much to complain about.
Wow, you're not complaining about a game mode? That's the first time.
Well, not so fast actually, because these maps, while they're fun, don't really solve the bigger problem. Because let's, for instance, assume that after a little bit of playing, players had found the winning strategy on the first map and had fully upgraded and min-maxed their loadouts, which was the case for me. The first time through on the first map was very difficult. I did not make it to the end, but after a little bit of playing, I was well on my way to have a very optimized loadout. And that optimized loadout and the winning strategy, as I'd like to call it, if you have it figured out for the first map, you have it figured out for all the maps. Because while yeah, the maps are different and they throw some different enemies your way, none of those enemies require you to make any changes to your loadout or make any changes in your playstyle other than shooting that target first. And again, if the goal of the maps are to beat them, and you have the perfect loadout ready the first time that you go in, and you beat it on the first try, well, then we're back to square one with the map simply not having that much replayability. It's fun at first, but gets old really, really fast, which is the main reason why this game mode never returned in all of the future of Call of Duty, except for the aliens making a small appearance on one of the zombie maps in Infinite Warfare. But we'll get to that soon enough, because before Infinite Warfare we had Advanced Warfare, and this game has both zombies and survival, which makes it the only game in the franchise to do so, with the only catch being that the zombies mode would not be available right away at launch, but would instead be added with a paid DLC 2.5 months after the release. Real classy, Activision, real classy. And since we're doing this video in chronological order, that means we're also going to start with survival. I'm really sorry if you were here for zombies content. Let's just say that I'm keeping the best for last, right? Because I mean, if I'm uploading this little, I really need to watch time. So just stay with me. Just don't click away. Much like the survival mode in Modern Warfare 3, Exo Survival simply reuses the multiplayer maps and drops all kinds of NPCs on it, following much of the same rules. Where it stands out from the previous iteration and the thing that is heavily carrying this game mode is for a big part the player movement. The game mode is called Exo Survival, and it's called like that for a reason because it lets you use your exosuit with double jumps and dashes all included, that I know weren't all too popular in multiplayer, but against bots in survival, it makes for a much more enjoyable experience. It has the illusion of being very fast-paced. If I had one criticism to give it, it meant for me that I was always stuck playing with a light Exo class because there's classes now in survival, and only the light Exo class has the full range of these movement abilities, including the horizontal dash. I will say that it diminishes the difficulty a little bit because it's pretty much a get-out-of-jail-free card that you have at all times, and as long as you keep running in circles around the map, the only way that you'll really die is if you just get too impatient. I did that on purpose. I didn't want to play anymore. That being said, though, I did find that the AI in this game was very fun to play against for a couple reasons. Not only do they have all sorts of gadgets for themselves that makes them more difficult to deal with, like grenades that temporarily disable your suit effects, or they also have a dash, or they have cloaking abilities that lets them creep up on you. They have all of these abilities and use all of these gadgets very efficiently for an AI. Most of the time, at least. The way this works and what makes these AI so unique is that they do these things pretty much instantly. You start shooting at an NPC, they instantly pull up an indestructible shield. You start looking at an enemy, they instantly dash away. Obviously, it's not very realistic because in some cases they react before you do any action, which is exactly why in other games they usually let you shoot at the enemy a bit before they react. But by allowing the NPCs to be so fast and agile with all their abilities, they can keep the time to kill in this game mode low. Unlike in Modern Warfare 3 Survival, where the health of the enemies scales up as you get further into the rounds, the time to kill in Exo Survival is always the same. The only tanky enemies that you ever have to go up against are these Goliaths, which are coincidentally also the worst part about the game mode. I've just said how every round is fast-paced, you zoom around the map, the enemies zoom after you, they throw a bunch of bullshit your way, and if you stay too long in the open, you are easily killed. But then with these Goliaths, the rounds slow down to a crawl because they are always the last one still standing. They can always be shot from a tight angle where they can't really shoot you back, and they take forever to kill. And I've tried a lot of different ways to take these guys down. Kill streaks, don't really work. Dedicating a rocket launcher in a weapon slot or a high caliber sniper rifle specifically to take them out, yeah, it doesn't really work either. It all just comes down to sitting there for 5 minutes and shooting enough bullets at them until they finally go down. It isn't difficult, it's just time consuming and tedious. The other nitpick that I had about Exo Survival is that I disliked how even more than in Modern Warfare 3, the rounds are always the same from map to map. In Modern Warfare 3, the enemy types you should be fighting, they were based on the difficulty level. But the difficulty level in Exo Survival doesn't really seem to change anything. There's no random helicopters or juggernaut rounds either, and due to the advanced movement that you have, the map layout plays even less of a factor here. Which makes it a good thing that there's also a zombies mode. Maybe it's because they were planning on a zombies mode that survival has even less bells and whistles to it now. But yes, that means that we're now finally getting into the first zombies mode of the video. And as the name implies, and also to my surprise, Exo Zombies also allows you to keep the exosuit and gives players the full range of mobility that comes with it. You don't start off with it, of course, you have to unlock it first, which is a mechanic that sort of replaces the typical central power button in more traditional zombie maps. Instead of a power button, you just now go to the suit, and then you're free to jump and dash around the place. The reason that it surprised me is because the zombies game modes, well, it usually only has melee type of enemies. And if you're able to dodge around the place, double jump and all that stuff, wouldn't that automatically make the game mode very easy? It's why I honestly expected going into this that the developers put some very heavy limitations on the use of it. But no, that's not the case. They give you all the abilities just like that, and to make it difficult, they created a bunch of special zombies that either also have these exosuits so they can jump at you when you jump away, or you have these zombies that temporarily disable your movement if they get too close. And I think that is a really fair compromise. Not only one that creates a different sort of gameplay loop than from the stuff we've seen previously, but also one that sticks very close to what Advanced Warfare was all about. And because the zombie modes got their own dedicated maps, we're going to cover each of the maps individually here. Starting off with Outbreak, which was the first and only map available when the zombies mode launched.
When Atlas dropped the bomb, they hoped it would finish the war. Instead, it unleashed a freak show like no one's ever seen.
We gotta protect our youth.
Oh, God.
And I think that this was sort of the safe approach from Ravensoft, a very first iteration, where the developers went with a don't try to fix what isn't broken approach, and copied many of the things that you would see in a traditional Treyarch zombies mode. There's a mystery box, there's the same type of perk system, although they've been given some name changes, there's random power-ups that you can pick up from dead zombies, and even special rounds with special enemies that give you a max ammo at the end of it. And I'd say that in this case, it's good to stick to the formula, because the game mode was already so different thanks to the movement system. And not only that, it was at the end of the day a formula that had been refined and reiterated on many times over. So most of the awkward kinks had already been ironed out. Or had they? Where you'll see this most is in the areas where Ravensoft decided to do something different and not stick to the formula, which sometimes worked really well, but other times it hurts the game mode a lot simply from it being the first iteration of it that could have used a lot more polish. The weapon upgrade machine is a prime example of this, where instead of just upgrading your weapon once and getting a stronger version of what you already had, you can now upgrade it 20 times for very slowly increasingly better stats, costing you 2,500 points per upgrade.
I already got scammed once paying full price for all these games just to make a video on it, and now I'm getting scammed again.
Now, I can see why this change was made. It is so that players would have a longer upgrade path before they would be maxed out on perks and weapons, and so that they wouldn't instantly be so overpowered the moment that they pack-a-punch the weapon. But it does beg the question, is it as much fun as slotting in a weapon into the machine and getting a crazy version of that weapon back to you? No, really. And upgrading it 20 times? That is just a bit tedious. It also doesn't help that the wonder weapon on this first map isn't all the best. It means that as soon as you get to round 25 or 30, the rounds really start to drag on because there's just no good way to kill the zombies. And the first map also really doesn't give you a lot of ways to use your abilities creatively to get out of sticky situations. There are a bunch of areas where running around and running zombie trains is manageable, but most of the corridors are extremely tight, and most of the rooms just aren't built in a way where the exosuit gives you any notable advantage. So even if you are running zombies in one of these good areas, you'll very quickly run out of ammo, and then you have to take all these risky moves just to try to get a new weapon.
That was also on purpose.
And then I haven't even mentioned the special rounds, because in these special rounds you're not just fighting the dogs, but also zombies that can infect you and turn you into a zombie. The moment that one of these special zombies hits you, you get put on a timer, with every hit that you take afterwards lowering that timer. And to cleanse yourself, you have to make it to the one cleansing pad on the map before the timer runs out. And yes, with all these side corridors and the inability to kill zombies fast in the higher rounds, this can become extremely tricky to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I like special zombies. I think it's a nice little mechanic that they added, but the map layout here is the limiting factor for a lot of the systems put in place. The nail in the coffin that really did it for me when it comes to this map is that the Easter egg is also just not that great. I know that maps are hardly defined by their Easter egg, and that the general gameplay is much more important, but I can accept a tricky or difficult map if the Easter egg is like really fun to do. But this map is just get 4 key cards, and that's it. That's when you get evacuated. But oh wait, plot twist, the helicopter crashes, because of course it does, because you never get evacuated in any of these game modes. Thanks, Obama. I actually just learned that there's also an alternative ending for this map where you do actually get picked up. But still, that doesn't make the Easter egg good. It just means that the game ends when you complete the Easter egg. That's the difference. Alright, on to the next map that they released then. Very originally named Infection. You can tell that they really got creative with all these names here. And this map is probably the most controversial one in today's video, simply because of how difficult it is and how much bullshit it relentlessly throws at you. Seriously, there's a very tanky boss that spawns in every so many rounds that follows you around and shoots EMP bombs at you, disabling all your movement abilities. That alone can be very difficult to deal with. But the map will also, at random, guess different areas, making it impossible to play in huge chunks of the map for the remainder of the round. The map also gives you the task to escort civilians mid-round, which, if they die, it will disable all of the wall buys such as the perks, weapons, and the traps.
Single line, I'm looking at a survivor. Sending coordinates.
Oh, okay, no problem. We'll just stop what we're doing and go do that.
And to top it all off, yes, special zombie rounds are back, with the only decontamination zone being located right in the middle of the sewers, which is more or less a small collection of super tight corridors that is very hard to play in. So yeah, there's quite a lot to keep in mind here, and quite a lot that can catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. That's not to say it's all bad though. The Easter egg questline, for example, is miles above collecting 4 keycards and extracting. And it even has a fun reward at the end where the Burger Town mascot comes to life and starts killing the zombies with you. And when the map doesn't have a big boss and isn't filled with toxic gas, the zones do provide the player with enough space to run around in. Clearly, Infection is a map where the developers try to move away from the bare-bone basic stuff that embodied the first map. It's just that the execution leaves a lot to be desired here. Luckily for us though, we also have Carrier, the third map, which is where a lot of the mechanics seen in Infection make a return, but they're improved upon to allow for a better and more fair experience. And I'd say that it worked quite well, because out of all the Exo Zombie maps, Carrier was probably my favorite one. We'll start by looking at the layout for this, which is miles above previous two, for various reasons, not the least that it has not 1, but 2 decontamination zones. It also has a good amount of open rooms, and when it does use tight corridors to connect those, there are always multiple of them, so that you have a choice on where to go. As for the toxic gas and the big boss, they're back, but they are preventable. The toxic gas, it doesn't just spawn in now at random times. No, a bomb squad spawns into the map that will try to plant a bomb, and if you go towards them, kill them, and defuse the bomb before it goes off, you will prevent an area of the map from becoming unplayable. The big boss enemy will then only spawn in if you let 3 bombs go off in a single round, so it's kind of connected to the toxic gas in this way. On top of all of these improvements, Carrier also gives you a bunch of new toys to play with, like the first good wonder weapon of Exo Zombies that cuts right through zombies, and the teleportation nades, which not only gives you even more movement options, but is also a very effective way of killing zombies. And then there's also the power-ups, which are pretty crazy, giving you infinite ammo without having to reload, or spawning a field of grenades around you that instantly kill zombies when they touch it. The zombies have of course also been beefed up, all the special ones, they're still there, but with teleportation nades, they also very fittingly added teleporting zombies. it results in a very chaotic gameplay experience, but one that isn't out of your control this time. The cherry on top would be that the Easter egg on this map is also pretty good, because for the first time it feels like an actual quest line, with many unique steps that range from getting drunk and having to platform around the map, to figuring out puzzles by throwing different types of grenades in a specific order into a grenade disposal machine, to using the teleport grenades to get into hidden vents, to even fixing a broken teleporter that sends you to an abandoned island. It's obvious that Ravensoft really started to get a feel for everything here and started to understand how to best align the map design with the exosuit gameplay, which is something that we also see back in the last map, Descent.
Let's count this one down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1.
Descent is a big map, with by far the most open and vertical spaces that truly allow you to use your abilities to the full potential almost at all times. And it also isn't afraid to get a bit crazy, because it introduces a boss fight that is not part of the Easter egg, but something that you will always just do. Every so many rounds, you get teleported to a special arena where you have to complete a bunch of challenges, which eventually turns into a big boss fight. There's definitely a more arcadey feel to this map. It has everything from a gimmicky wonder weapon that is still good sometimes, to these Goliaths that you can control now and can mow down zombies with. Even the Easter egg is mostly just fun challenges, like beating around with zombies using only grenades or only rocket launchers. But of course, you do get infinite ammo for those. And there's some platforming sections that will push the movement to the absolute maximum. And don't worry if you don't make it, you don't actually die, but rather just bounce back into the map. This map just has so many toys and bells and whistles, and if you're looking for a fun, casual zombies experience without having to worry too much about mechanics, I guess this is the best map that Exo Survival has to offer. Overall, I think I understand why Exo Zombies didn't go down in history as the best zombies mode ever. It had a bit of a rough start with it not being on disc, and then the first two maps for it also weren't the greatest. But that being said, I would still really like to see another version of this somewhere in the future, because there's two things that have stuck with me here. First is that the movement and the special zombies make this mode very unique, and in some cases a lot more fun than the usual zombies mode. And two, the maps improved so much over such a short period of time that I can only wonder what this team could have made had they been given another game's worth of content to work on. So maybe one day, who knows. And when Exo Zombies done, it's now time to get into the really good stuff with Infinite Warfare Zombies, which had the big advantage of being given a massive budget to go all out on the game mode. It's all because in the year prior to this release, Black Ops 3 released with its all too popular zombies mode that not only had more players than ever before playing the game mode, but also found a way to monetize it through the mega gums. And if you can be sure of one thing and one thing only, it's that when money is involved, Activision starts taking things seriously. No more side game mode to be released post-launch. No, a big launch game mode advertised right next to the multiplayer.
Zombies in Spaceland. Pre-order, get the terminal bonus map and the Zombies in Spaceland pack.
Of course, with its own gum-like system attached to it for people to sink their money into. This time with the fate and fortune cards. It's something that we'll get back to a bit later in the video, because for now I just want to focus on everything else, because everything else is really, really good.
Welcome to the dork side.
Wait, the trailer has that many dislikes? Y'all need to get a sense of humor. Anyway, let's get this shit started. Zombies in Spaceland was the first and only map available at launch for Infinite Warfare Zombies, but it is a pretty good one to start with. As far as the very base mechanics go, it's still very similar to the Treyarch formula, much more so than even the Exo Zombies mode, because this time we have a Pack-a-Punch machine that works in a very similar fashion to the older games with a one-time upgrade for 5,000 points and the ability to double Pack-a-Punch if you manage to complete the Easter egg. And that is kind of the thing with Zombies in Spaceland. Instead of trying to change existing mechanics, they just added a bunch of stuff on top of it and made it unique that way. The ticket system is the first of one of those additions. All around the map there's these mini games that players can play, like shooting targets at a shooting range, or riding a deadly roller coaster, or throwing basketballs into a hoop.
I should have picked a black character.
And they can play these mini games to earn tickets, which can then be spent on special weapon upgrades, special grenades, and all sorts of extra benefits. Now that alone is an alright addition, but these mini games also serve a secondary purpose, because if you happen to die, which of course never happens to me, but if you happen to die, instead of being stuck spectating your friend, you get sent to the Afterlife arcade, where you can then play all of these mini games, but instead of earning tickets, you'll be able to earn a self-revive, and you can respawn back into the game without having to wait for the next round. And on top of that, you will also have a short window of time to buy back all your weapons and equipment for the low price of 2,000 points. So that's the ticket system, but then we also have the souvenir stations that will allow you to slot in coins that have randomly dropped from killed zombies. And from these stations, you can get even more different toys, like portable traps that you can set up anywhere around the map, or a boombox which makes all the zombies dance in place when they get too close to it, very similar to a monkey bomb. This map is just really well put together, from the traps that fit the theme of the map very much, to the special rounds which spawns in clowns on roller skates that explode when they get too close to you. There's 4 different wonder weapons which are also a variation of a small water pistol that doesn't actually shoot water, and there are so many side quests to follow besides the main Easter egg. It's just a map that's filled with so much personality that again fully realizes on the fantasy it is trying to offer. Also, one thing to keep in mind, much like every other map in Infinite Warfare, which we'll get to soon, this Easter egg is pretty difficult. Actually, not pretty difficult, it's really difficult, all thanks to an alien boss fight that will mess you up if you don't know exactly what to do going into it.
Wait, I can rush you.
Okay, where are you?
Right behind you. I got you. No, I don't have you. Insta-kill though.
You are so fucking.
I couldn't move. Insta-kill, but not for me.
The short story of this is that you get put in a fairly small space, having to deal with the usual zombies, but also with this alien boss that teleports around and shoots projectiles that slow and disorient you. To take down this alien, you will need to shoot him a ridiculous amount. I mean, seriously, this guy is tanky, and any mistake you make usually results in an instant death. Sometimes it's not even your fault. That alone is bad enough, of course, but to add insult to injury, the boss fight also gets significantly harder when you play with more than one player, because it spawns in an alien for every player in the game, and when you have multiple aliens shooting at you at the same time, it can result in near instant deaths that are oftentimes simply not that avoidable. Or, I mean, I guess it is avoidable somehow, but let's just say that you have to play close to perfect to pull it off. This is where we then get back to the fate and fortune cards, because, of course, these boss fights are made so difficult to promote the use of these cards. And some of them have some very powerful effects, like reviving all of your down teammates instantly, or having zombies that if they touch you, they explode. You know, the thing that was previously a power-up is now a one-time use fate and fortune card. Obviously, these are pretty powerful, and they can make or break a run easily. And it's not just fate and fortune cards that you can purchase and play for either. Zombies has a whole loadout system, including lots of passive weapon upgrades. Like, weapons with increased fire rate, or you can slow targets when you hit them, or you have improved range and headshot damage on your weapons. All of those things you can only purchase with a currency called scrap, which is the leftover material that you get from opening loot boxes. Some might say that this is the price you pay for a good zombies mode, but I find it hard to justify when the DLC map packs, including just a single new zombie map, still cost just as much money. So let's take a look at those DLC maps then, going in chronological order. So we're starting with Rave in the Redwoods.
Rave in the Redwoods.
And to answer the question right away, yes, this map does also hold up, but it's not as good as Zombies in Spaceland was.
I don't know what good this is, but it ain't Spaceland.
Simply because, yeah, it realizes the fantasy it's trying to offer, which is a bunch of teenagers being stuck in the woods. But this map also borrows a lot of mechanics from Zombies in Spaceland that don't necessarily fit as well. The special rounds, for example, they work in the same way, but instead of clowns, you now have multiple Bigfoots coming your way. Instead of a souvenir station, you now have these gem stations. The ticket system, of course, is also completely gone. There's the Afterlife arcade, but the arcade doesn't really fit into the map as well as that it did in Zombies in Spaceland. The Pack-a-Punch is a lot more tedious to get to.
You know what? I'm really happy they replaced the teleporters with Pack-a-Punch with a minute long section of both.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the video.
Real riveting gameplay right here.
That being said though, there's enough new stuff here that makes it not worth playing. There's these drugs that you can take that make you hallucinate and see all these vibrant colors that then allow you to earn double the points, but with the caveat of also spawning in a chainsaw dude trying to kill you. And the developers have even seemed to pick up a few things from mistakes they made with Zombies in Spaceland and improve the general experience because of it. Double Pack-a-Punch, for example, isn't locked behind beating a big alien boss at the end of an Easter egg, so it makes it a possibility in the average game too. And the wonder weapons are a lot more powerful this time. I mean, they were powerful in Zombies in Spaceland, but here it's just on a whole other level. There's these 4 crossbows that all have a different effect, much like the 4 staffs in Origins. And 2 of these bows just have the ability to instantly wipe out an entire race of zombies. So yeah, once you get your hands on the upgraded version of these, the map becomes a walk in the park, and by extension, the boss fight also becomes a lot easier. The developers here really have to get creative with the boss fight because they couldn't just rely on teleport and an insane amount of health. No, here, the boss actually needed to have mechanics and different phases, because the wonder weapons that you can get are that much stronger. And I like that. I think this was a really good boss fight, even though it is a little bit easier than the other boss fights in this game. That changed with the next map though, Shaolin Shuffle, because this map, and especially its Easter egg, throws out any and all similarities to previous two and replaces it with so much bullshit that I really don't have the time for in this video to point it all out.
From the title, you think it's lighthearted and mellow. Tell the truth, don't suck.
Now that is a little harsh, and the map is actually not too bad. It has a lot of fun elements. But man, do not try to do this Easter egg and see if you can have some casual fun with it. This Easter egg is probably the most long and tedious Easter egg that I've played so far, and it's borderline impossible to try and figure out yourself. You have to be watching guides to even get somewhere in the right direction. It starts off somewhat easy from using your shuriken, which is the you have now. You have shuriken and ninja abilities, which is pretty cool, but you need to use those shuriken to shoot open specific red spaces that you can only see after using a special ability, because you have this eye out from monster things to kill. You have to notice systematic phone to write down your war scores, that then has to line up with the correct. Just stop, please. If I need to have a guide open all the time just to have a chance at completing it, then that's not really a fun and engaging Easter egg quest line. Every step is just one obscure hidden thing after another, and you cannot possibly do this without a guide. That's a bit of a rant, but that is what frustrates me most about this map. As for the general gameplay, yeah, I think it's pretty good. As I said, you get these ninja abilities that you can use to open different areas of the map. I think it works. I think the layout of the map is alright, but overall, I don't think this map is better than Zombies in Spaceland or Rave in the Redwoods, at least from my point of view, and that's what you're here for. The indisputable opinion of the casual Call of Duty gameplay. And unfortunately, the next map, Attack with the Radioactive Thing, is much more of the same in terms of tediousness. I think this one might even be worse, but I never actually completed the Easter egg because after the previous map, I was so done with doing all these obscure things, and then I looked at the quest set to complete the Easter egg quest on this map. And I was just sure I was going to hate it. I loaded in, I did not even want to play it anymore. But then, something changed my mind. 2 things, actually.
Don't worry, doll. This isn't the first time I've handled something this big.
In all seriousness though, this map didn't really do it for me either. It's a large map, which can be good, but I think it's a little bit too large for its own good because there's no fast ways to get around other than just running. And it's to the point where, yeah, it does get a little tedious, which would be a good way to sum up this map. It's just tedious, and even things like getting to the Pack-a-Punch are made somewhat difficult again to figure out without using a guide. You need to find a specific book in relation to one specific location of the map, and then use melee attacks on specific zombies to fill up a vial so that this woman can open up a portal to Pack-a-Punch. It's not necessarily difficult, but if you don't know about it going into the map, it's going to be very unlikely you figure it out by yourself in a somewhat reasonable time. It's the same thing again when looking back at Shadows of Evil or with Mob of the Dead. If I know what I'm looking for, playing parts, and if they're highlighted with pretty colors, then yeah, I can try to find those items myself. I can sort of figure it out. But if I'm not really told anything, or all the items are tucked away in a random dark corner somewhere on the map, then it's likely that I'm not going to be able to get there without a guide. So it's not like that I hate having to work on unlocking the zombies thing. It's just that I dislike when it goes my fate. And also when the map is so big that searching every random corner is just not something that you should realistically ask the players to do. The last map though, the Beast of the Beyond, is different. And in a lot of ways, this is where I really think the developers went all out with their leftover crazy ideas. You don't start with a pistol on this map. No, you start with an assault rifle right away. And you are going to need it because instead of fighting zombies, you'll be going up against the alien dogs from Extinction. And that,
Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
this is probably the only map where I'm not ashamed to say that I've died before round 5 multiple times. I'll just be clear, it's not that hard to fight off these dogs, but it's definitely something you have to get used to. I think the AI works very similar as it did in Call of Duty. The thing with the ghost is that it has a lot of health and you can take a lot of hits. Here, it's just a regular 3 hits and you go down. Of course, these dogs will go away when you turn on the power, after which you'll have to fight normal zombies again, but this is just one of the twists that this map throws your way. The Easter egg itself also isn't too long or tedious, and I think it strikes a good balance between testing your skill and hiding away some obscure secrets. The only thing I really heavily struggled with when it comes to this Easter egg is once again the boss fight, because man, this boss fight is hard. Yes, I know there's a boss-only game mode where you can just practice against the boss, and you better be damn sure that I used the hell out of that, but I still died more times than I can count. It's definitely another case of needing a very heavily optimized setup with as many good Fate and Fortune cards as possible and as many weapon unlocks as possible in order to stand a decent chance. I eventually did it without using these things, but just to kill the big blue alien beasts, that took around 20 minutes of running around in one area, and pumping bullets into them whenever possible. As a final ending, the developers also added in this super boss that you can only fight after beating all 5 bosses on all 5 maps. And all I'm going to say is, it looks difficult. I played it, I loaded into it a few times, then I died, and then I did not bother again because it seems like one of those things only made for the 0.1% of players. That's a good thing, by the way. I'm really happy that the developers added that in for the hardcore players. That is not something that you see all too often in video games anymore, so I want to say this as a good thing. It's just that for making this video, this was too much of a time investment that I was willing to spend. Because after all, I'm gonna be honest, I had to get this video out of the door at some point. Maybe one day I'll go back to give this a proper try, but for now we're wrapping up Infinite Warfare Zombies, and we're moving on to the next game with zombies, which is Call of Duty World War II. In many ways, World War II Zombies is a complete 180 when compared to Infinite Warfare. This is really Sledgehammer's first and proper go at zombies, and instead of going for something more silly or something a bit more off-brand, they went with a dead serious tone in an effort to bring back some of the horror elements of zombies that had slowly been lost as the mode evolved. And generally speaking, I think that a more serious tone is always harder to pull off, because if just a couple of things don't work out quite the way you want to, it can take away from the experience as a whole, because it can pull you right out of that more serious tone. Whereas if you have a more goofy approach, those very same things can more easily be brushed off by just saying that you shouldn't take it too serious. It's why in this video, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to keep the retention with humor instead of bombarding you with professional editing. It probably saves me another month of my life. But it is also the reason why I find it all the more impressive that this zombies mode in World War II really works. It of course doesn't have as many bells and whistles as the zombies mode in Infinite Warfare, and definitely not if you were to compare it to Zombies in Spaceland. So I guess you could say that the mode is a little light on features, but the lengths that this iteration goes to put you in an almost horror-like experience is commendable. From areas being pitch black if the power isn't turned off, something that developers usually shy away from unless you're talking about indie horror games, to melee kills being a more risky thing now because of the animation that locks you onto a single target. Also, to some of the most gruesome death animations I have ever seen in a video game.
Wait! I'm on your side!
The developers really went all out to realize this different approach to zombies, and this is what I would imagine World War I Zombies was like for players that just discovered the game mode, which also makes it a very good sequel, seeing as this is World War II after all. On the gameplay side of things, Sledgehammer has also gone ahead and made quite a couple of changes, with the biggest one being the new perk system. Yes, I know that different perks are always a more controversial topic for the zombie players out there, as everybody seems to be too much in love with the good old Juggernaut and whatnot, but in World War II Zombies, I think the changes to the perk system do work. Looking at Juggernaut, for example, well, it is not in the game, and it is instead replaced by an armor system. Without any armor, you take 3 hits to go down, but then if you have armor, every hit after the third will be absorbed and take your shield away. This means that yes, if you have full armor, the player is actually able to take more hits in a row than before with Juggernaut. But also, getting hit every time past the third hit will come with a small punishment, because once your armor is depleted, you'll have to rebuy it. And every time you rebuy it, the price will go up. It starts at 500, which is not a lot, but if you purchase it enough, it will eventually climb up to 10,000. And this change alone adds more to the gameplay than you might think. It opens up a perk slot, for starters, and gives players more freedom in what to buy in the early game, other than just rushing to Juggernaut and hoping that you'll get something decent out of the mystery box. But it also keeps the players thinking on whether or not to rebuy the armor throughout the whole game. Because what if just one shield is missing? Or what about 2? Do you risk the chance of going down faster to save on cash? Or do you play it safe, but increase the speed at which the armor price will go up? Another thing that I've also noticed playing World War II Zombies is that many of the changes that Black Ops 4 had originated here in World War II Zombies. Special abilities, for example, or loadout systems that let you choose what weapons you spawn in with.
Something's wrong here. Very wrong.
Keeping some of your perks if you get revived fast enough after going down. It is all here in World War II. And while in Black Ops 4, some of these things result in a bit of a problematic gameplay loop with inappropriate player scaling, where the players would essentially have a wonder weapon from the start, in World War II, these things are much more balanced. Your special ability isn't a godly hammer that one-hits every zombie. No, your abilities are instead to become invisible from the zombies for a couple of seconds, or to not have to reload your weapons for a bit, or to have all the zombies be focused on you, or stun all the zombies in an area around you. Yes, these are still strong enough to make an impact, no doubt. They're essentially a power-up on demand, but they're a far cry from instant kill wonder weapons that just erase everything in your way for a minute or more. Plus, even the consumables that you can bring into the game as part of your loadout are a lot more balanced compared to the gobblegums, elixirs, or the Fate and Fortune cards. Because instead of spawning in every power-up in front of you or giving yourself all 10 perks at the start of a match, you get a self-revive, or the next 2 doors that you open will be half the price, or you can spawn in a max ammo. Useful, definitely, and something that can still save a run and so is worth bringing into the game, but not as broken as to give you everything you could possibly ask for in round 1. Another thing that I really like, and this applies to the first map more than the other maps, is that the Easter egg is very much front and center of the experience. There's no writing on the walls like in Mob of the Dead, so it's not as integrated into the world, but right when you load in, you're given the first objective, which is to open all the valves and blow open a hole into one of the doors. This is how the map starts, and this is how you open up the map. But if you then keep following the steps, it will eventually push you into the boss fight and what would traditionally be called the Easter egg questline. Even though you can't really call it an Easter egg questline in World War II Zombies anymore because, well, you're more or less told what to do. Now, I can definitely see, from a hardcore player point of view, why you wouldn't like this. Because what secrets are there to solve if you're just told what to do every step of the way? But I think this was a very good idea, at least for the first map in the Zombies mode, because it allows for the challenges to focus on the player's skill. This is something that I really appreciated with the last 2 maps in Exo Zombies as well, where most of the quest steps require the player to do something in the game that tests their skills. Can you throw the grenade accurately enough into the small little hole while being chased by a zombie? Can you do the jumping sections while being drunk? Can you kill this many zombies in a row, pick up their teleportation cores, run to the other side of the map, and place those cores into the broken teleporter? Can you do all of those things efficiently enough before the rounds get so high that the zombies just overrun you? Those are the type of challenges that I can appreciate in the Zombies Easter eggs, because it's not some random thing you have to look up online. Instead, it tests how competent you are at the game. Much of the same is true here. Defend these objectives and make sure that the zombies don't destroy the objective and also don't kill you at the same time. Or walk through this dark, narrow hallway, killing zombies only in this tight circle that is constantly moving. These are skill-based challenges rather than very obscure things. The only area where I think this first map, the Final Reich, lacks quite a bit is in its scope and in the layout. I'm not going to say that this map is small because it is actually pretty big, but so many of its areas are just tucked away in some corner that you never really visit more than once or twice to open up the Pack-a-Punch. Just the layout overall, it reminds me a lot of Infected in Exo Zombies, where it's just a bunch of large separate areas areas that are only connected through one or two tight corridors. And this map layout thing is also not something that improves with the first DLC map, The Darkest Shores, which has a layout that is even more simplistic, as it is more or less just a straight path up a mountain where you can then take a minecart back down to the start. Something that also doesn't help it there is just how similar and washed out everything looks. I know that this is the style that they're going for, gritty and less colorful, but without any major landmarks here or any visual eye candy, the layout of it has to be that much better. And here, it is just not. It just falls short. That's not to say that The Darkest Shores is a bad map that you should never play, because it also has some of the more unique features. Like, it is during daytime, but they still try to go for the more horror-like approach. So with the special rounds, you have this very thick mist that means you can't really see what's in front of you. And then out of nowhere, you have these big monsters coming at you, which the first time I saw them genuinely gave me a jump scare, especially because I didn't really notice the mist getting thicker in the first place. I never even noticed it was a special round. I just assumed it was part of how the map looked in their normal conditions. Maybe higher up the mountains, there's more mist. So it has resulted in a moment that I'll now forever remember when I think about zombies. Where you can get the most amount of enjoyment with this type of map is probably with the Easter egg, because that is where the bulk of the content is. It's where the gruesome scene that I showed at the start comes from, and it has a good amount of good quest apps that are original and also on some level texture still. The only problem here is that, unlike with the first map, it doesn't really tell you what to do. I mean, it gives you hints, but those hints are usually still vague enough to still have to look up a tutorial at some point. And that, I think, is a bit of a shame. Not saying that every map should just outright tell you what to do for Easter eggs, but for this map in particular, where most of the good content is hidden within the Easter egg, it would have been a good choice to do that too. The Shadowed Throne, however, the third map for World War II Zombies, is very different and is by far the best map up until this point in this game. It has a much better layout to start with, instead of just, you know, a loop around the mountain. But it also has spectacular visual landmarks, and most importantly, offers plenty of new toys to the players that they can mess around with during a game. The Wonder Weapon aside, which is also a pretty good fit for the map, where you leech the souls out of the zombies to charge it, and then shoot it right back at them, the map also has 3 unique melee weapons that all completely change how you play the game. It's definitely a more playful approach, but something that doesn't take away from the serious tone at all, in my opinion. The Easter egg is also very cleverly woven into these special weapons, because if you decide to go and collect all 3 of them, well, at that point, you're already more than halfway done with the Easter egg. And then there's the boss fight, which happens in a special arena above the map in one of those big zeppelins that has been bullying you since the first map. It is quite a spectacle to see, even if the boss fight mechanics themselves aren't that interesting. And this, of course, would also not be the last map that would be released for World War II Zombies, because we've got one more on the list, and probably my personal favorite of everything that we've looked at today, the Frozen Dawn, which is really World War II's most ambitious map by far. And it's in a lot of ways similar to Origins from Black Ops 2, but still different enough to really make it its own thing. Much like Origins, the map takes on a very ancient feel, with its main thing being collecting and upgrading 4 different wonder weapons that in this case range from being able to teleport forward, much like a teleportation grenade from Exo Zombies, to throwing around a hammer that returns to you like your 4. Visually, this map looks insane, and this is exactly everything that the Darkest Shore was missing. There are large overlooks, there are these pools and streams of blood everywhere, presumably for all the sacrifices you have to do for all the wonder weapons on the map. The teleporters are these machines now that rip your body in pieces and assemble it somewhere else, although I'm not sure it comes across too well in first-person perspective. But yeah, everything regarding the presentation of this map, I just love it. The one thing I will say, though, is that this is definitely a 4-player map. That admittedly doesn't have teleporters, sure, but the Easter egg is essentially collecting those 4 wonder weapons. Now, that can be done very quickly if you have 4 players that know what they're doing. Each player just goes for 1 wonder weapon, and you all do the quest at the same time. In my case, though, where I was playing alone, or maybe with a duo because I needed a zombie winning play, well, it takes a long time to collect and upgrade all 4 wonder weapons by yourself. There are just so many steps. Most of them are engaging for sure, and they can be figured out without having to look up a guide because they're essentially just mini puzzles. If I rotate this block, 2 other blocks will also rotate this way. It was the same on the Shadowed Throne to get the final wonder weapon. They're tricky, but it's possible to do them without having to look up videos. But yeah, when you're solo to do this, it's just a lot.
I call it a casual-friendly game. That is not casual-friendly.
No, it's pretty casual. It's just, I think they just assume most players to have their high school diploma when they
Oh.
play these maps. But of course, in this case, that's not me.
Now, I did say Frozen Dawn would be the last proper Zombies map, which is true, but World War II still has this alternative Zombies mode called the Tortured Path, which for the sake of just covering absolutely everything in this video, and for the consistency that my channel is definitely known for, I'll just include it here as well. And I'll just be honest, I didn't think this game mode was all too much fun, and I just didn't get the point. The short story of it is that you get dropped on a small map that is already completely open, where you then have to hold out and survive against 10 waves of zombies until you get extracted. There's a couple of objective rounds, which can vary from super easy to just being completely impossible if you have the wrong loadout, and at the very end, you will have to fight a boss. To me, it just seems like a very small-scale Zombies game, much like going back to playing Verrückt now and just ignoring the 10 years of development and progress the Zombies mode has seen since then. And that's it! That was all the zombies that we're going to talk about today. But the video isn't done yet, because we still have to talk about the latest iterations of Modern Warfare Survival. And I promise this is going to be a short one, because, well, the bar was already pretty low when all they had to do was at least match the version that came out in 2013. But somehow, they went even lower.
The bar has been lowered to depths we can't even fathom. If anyone can go down there and race back, me.
To my brother Riley for getting pilot's license. You're crazy, Jake. I learned from the
The first thing that is a little bit off, and you'll notice this only if you're a new player to this game, is that the weapons and the attachments and all that stuff, you know, the stuff that you can usually purchase with the points that you have acquired in a game, well, all of those things are now based on your character level. So if you haven't been grinding out the multiplayer prior to playing Survival, you cannot buy or upgrade most weapons in this game mode. The only way to get weapons if you're a new player is to simply pick up weapons from dead enemies, which are most of the time the exact same weapons and don't really have attachments. Then, the second thing that you'll notice right away playing this game mode is that the AI is a little bit simplistic because it only has one setting, and that is to run forward in a straight line directly to your location and shoot you when they stand right next to you, regardless of what weapons they have, or what class they are, or where you are on the map, or anything at all. They just run to you in a straight line to a comical degree, which also means that if you are directly above them and they're next to a fence or a wall or anything that they can jump over, they will repeatedly jump over that same wall back and forth, because in the nav match, the top of the wall is closer to you than the bottom of that wall. Everywhere you look, it's just obvious that not a lot of care or time has been put into this game mode, to the point where I'm asking myself now, why was it even included in the first place? The enjoyment factor of this game is carried almost entirely by just how good Modern Warfare 2019 feels to play. I mean, that's Call of Duty, right? The movement is smooth, the gunplay feels good. When you kill somebody, it feels good.
This game feels you make like duty really of the call of the duty, make you feel like it, you really duty call of making you feel it is your duty of the call of duty.
And obviously, the game doesn't look half bad either. But as far as this game mode in particular goes and the systems within it, it's just a hot pile of garbage. So now the only question that remains is, can it get any worse?
It's hard to understand.
All is fair.
But at least now it can't get much worse.
But it did get worse. Shortly after, Odin lost his wife.
Yes, it always can get worse. Introducing Survival in Modern Warfare 2, the one from 2022. And I'll spend about as much time on this part of the video as the developer spent on making this game mode, which is about a minute. So let's go. This game mode is bad. There's a route limit, which is 6. After that, it just ends. That is bad. Instead of blocking away your weapons behind character progression, every player can now just get whatever weapon they want at the start of the game, taking away any progression. That is also very bad.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Survival is bad.
The enemy AI in this game is also very bad. And once again, I have no idea why this is even in the game to begin with. I think every system that you can find here is just based off of the Warzone mechanics. Survival in Modern Warfare 2 is just Warzone with a reskin. I can confidently say that my brain was more engaged trying to find the game mode in the first place in this maze of menus than playing the game mode. And that is about a minute, so I'll stop right here. Of course, I could rag on about all the things that they could or should have done instead of this, but honestly, the video is long enough already and I have like 3 other projects I'm working on that I'd much rather continue with. That is also the reason that this video is a bit lighter on the editing today, by the way. So if you stuck it out to the end, thank you very much for watching. I got a lot more coming with this new format and I'm going all out on these next couple of videos, but also I'm still recording, writing, and editing everything myself. So it's gonna be a little bit until you see another upload, which means that wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you all later. I will pray that Treyarch finally pushes out a good zombies mode with our next Call of Duty, and let's just hope that this video at least recoups the cost of all these Call of Duty games that I had to buy for myself and for my friend. It's either that or I'm sleeping under the bridge next month.
Like debuff, like defense broken by some random ass Karina, and then she might die.
Imagine this! It's the early 1930s. The Great Depression is in full swing, and the nation is gripped with economic despair. FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the creature that I named my dog after. I mean the guy, President of the United States, not a creature.
I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
He was just elected president at this time, and he promised a new deal to lift the country out of the financial abyss that it found itself within as a result of the Great Depression, the big scare, or whatever. A lot of old people talk about it and stuff, and they ate salt and dirt and things like that for months. Pretty wild. Imagine this! On top of imagining that, behind the scenes, a group of incredibly powerful businessmen were hatching a plan like Dr. Evil and Number 2. A plan so audacious that it aimed to overthrow the government of the United States of America. This is not Austin Powers 4. This is real life. Called the business plan.
I appeared before the Congressional Committee, the highest representation of the American people, under subpoena to tell what I knew of activities which I believe might lead to an attempt to set up a fascist dictatorship.
And this video is about the CIA and coups. And we're going to talk about all this today in this long-ass video that we've been working on for a while. So if you want to see more content like this, press the like button. And also, if you don't want to see anything like this ever again, press the like button as well. We'll be talking about the business plot first, and then we will go into the CIA. Obviously, the CIA did not come into existence until 1947. This is 1933. But once again, in my opinion, it really sets the stage. The business plot does, that is. AKA the Wall Street, whatever the that means. That's some 1930s talk, all right? That's some transatlantic colloquialisms. In 1933, the Wall Street Putsch, aka the business plot, was a political conspiracy put forth by a couple of plotters that aimed to overthrow FDR as a result of his New Deal policies.
During the campaign of 1932, FDR's promise of jobs for the unemployed frightened businessmen who feared he would turn their capitalist nation socialist and engage in what they viewed as reckless government spending.
They wanted to dismantle that whole idea. They believed that these policies were steering the United States of America towards socialism, and that's not good, or they didn't think it was at the time, and they believed that these new policies were detrimental to the interests of, well, themselves, and they just thought they were God, so themselves. They believed that these policies were bad, harmful to their money. In the minds of these plotters, Roosevelt was an existential threat to everything that they held dear, and they were determined to stop him at any cost. These weren't just random people. This wasn't like your classic revolution, 1776 style, or whenever the French ones happened. There was a lot of them. These were influential figures of the time. People who ran major corporations, people who ran financial institutions. You couldn't guess it. The titans of America.
The fathers of the industrial age.
What was their plan exactly? Well, it was to create a private army financed by their immense wealth as masters of the universe and march on Washington, D.C. and force FDR out of office, which is incredibly bold. Enter Major Smedley Butler, a retired Marine Corps officer and two-time Medal of Honor recipient.
The plan as outlined to me was to form an organization of veterans, to use as a bluff or as a club at least, to intimidate the government, and break down our democratic institutions.
How do you get 2 Medals of Honor in World War I? Do you have to die twice? That's crazy. Butler, as you can imagine by his 2 Medals of Honor, was a man of honor, a true patriot, and the absolute last person you'd ever expect to be involved in a conspiracy such as this. Yet, he found himself at the center of the plot when he was approached by the conspirators to lead their private army. He was their chosen dictatorial leader.
My main interest in all this is to preserve our democratic institutions. I want to retain the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to write.
But Butler stood on business, and he was no ordinary man, okay? He was a man who had seen the dark side of power and corruption. He was not easily swayed.
If we maintain these basic principles, our democracy is safe.
He even publicly supported FDR, and as you might guess after what I just said, instead of deciding to join the plot, he decided to expose the shit out of it. He testified before Congress, he revealed the details of the conspiracy, and he named the key figures involved. Wow. And while Mr. Smedley's testimony made headlines, many lesser-known details revealed the true depth of the conspiracy and the mindset of the powerful people of that time, and why they exactly wanted to do this. A couple of the people involved, one of them you're not going to believe. Actually, you'll probably believe it.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Just kidding, it's a lie. But one of the plot's primary financiers is Gerald McGuire, a bond salesman. Sounds boring as fuck. He served as a liaison between the business elite and potential military leaders that they would install when their coup was successful. McGuire traveled extensively to gather support and intelligence for this plot. This really, truly underscores the seriousness in which they approached this treasonous nonsense. Another key figure, little guy named Prescott Bush. Ever heard of him? Maybe the last name rings a bell. He is the father of future President George H.W. Bush and the grandfather of future President George W. Bush. Hey guys, did you hear my granddad tried to overthrow the United States of America in 1933? Shit's crazy.
Now watch this drive.
Now, to be fair to Mr. Prescott, his involvement remains a bit of a subject to debate, but he had very many connections to the powerful men behind the plot. And this whole thing at this point is probably unbelievable to you. Because I know when I first learned about it, it was unbelievable to me. Oh, and you know what else is interesting? Well, you might find it interesting at least. The son of Prescott Bush, aka George H.W. Bush, if that is his real name, would later become the director of the CIA. The funny little 3-letter agency I'm talking about in today's video primarily. And this is kind of a striking thing, maybe, if you ask me. And then you've got, I don't want to get too conspiratorial.
There's an attack on the species by a guild of psychopaths, and they must be defeated.
We're gonna really stick to kind of established facts here in this video, but my God, there's a lot of yarn and thumbtacks to be had and corkboard. A lot of fun involved in this. Now, one thing that's really different about the 1930s compared to now is there was a lot of elite people who believe themselves to be the ultimate arbiters of America's destiny. Just kidding. There's a lot of people who are that's still a thing. That's like still a huge thing. But these guys back in the 30s played a crucial role in the conception, inception, and actual initiation of the business plot.
Roosevelt's New Deal policies, which addressed almost every sector of the economy in the form of regulations, social programs, and financial reforms, made him an ever-growing problem in the eyes of big business and banks.
These folk believe that their wealth and influence genuinely entitled them to direct the course of the nation, the United States of America. To be fair, nothing like what it is now, right? Kind of like before everything really took off post-World War II. Kind of got real awesome after that, the whole Cold War and shit, and the big boom we saw after World War II. But like, the whole military-industrial complex combined with this mindset, you did a lot of obvious shit. Just saying. That sets the stage, I hope, a little bit. We just talked about the business plot. I implore you to read a book or two on it. There may only be a few. I'm not exactly sure. There's plenty of information out there. This sets the stage for what we are now to talk about, and that is the CIA and the obsession with the American government and overthrowing small governments.
By the Western secret services who aimed to infiltrate Albania and overthrow the communist regime of Enver Hoxha.
And big ones. What the fuck?
Let's talk about the time that the American government orchestrated a coup to depose an Australian Prime Minister.
The CIA was established in 1947, shortly after the end of the Second World War. President Harry S. Truman signed the National Security Act and gave unprecedented powers to a bunch of awesome 3-letter agencies. The Atomic Energy Council, which became the DOE, I think, and then the CIA, and then, Yo Mama, because she's big, and she has unprecedented size and power.
Please clap.
Now, so what does the CIA do? I know a couple of guys who are in the CIA who were in the CIA. I know one guy who was hanging out in Islamabad when Osama bin Laden died. I'm not saying there's any sort of correlation or anything like that, but I've got a shirt. And I wear it sometimes. And I think he's died now. I think he passed on. Anyways, if you are one to believe what the government tells you, the CIA is an agency that simply collects, evaluates, and disseminates information that has been gathered on economic, military, political, and scientific developments around the world, beyond just the borders of the United States of America. And the honest intent from A to Z is to safeguard national security. That is what the official story is. That's what I like to believe.
Our mission is straightforward but critical. Leverage the power of information to keep our nation safe. Our problem set is complex and cannot be solved by one person alone.
But what I don't like to believe is that there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in the interests of our nation's security and stability and in our interests.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CIA.
We have some interesting interests, it seems like. On the CIA's official website, they tout themselves as the nation's first line of defense. They accomplish what others simply cannot accomplish, and they go where others simply cannot go. Classic American government propaganda. I love it. I used to have Marine Corps posters all in my room when I was a kid, because I love the Marine Corps. But I am not a fascist bootlicker, so not that big of a fan of propaganda, to be honest. But still love the American government, by the way, just to be clear. But we're talking about the CIA, which is kind of like the edgy teenager of the government.
For the first time now, the CIA has released documents that show its role in the 1953 coup.
So yeah, that's what the CIA does if you're keen on drinking the US Gov Flavor Aid. Beside the CIA, you've probably heard of other three-letter agencies like the FBI or the NSA or all the other ones. But unlike the FBI and the NSA, the CIA spies on foreigners. The FBI and NSA spies on us. The CIA was built to focus on overseas affairs and thus has no capacity to perform law enforcement functions on American soil or gather intelligence on American citizens. Now, I'm not so sure about that. Based on what I believe and know and have learned, that is public information, but like, we'll see.
Under code names like MK Ultra, the CIA spent 25 years and $25 million on secret mind control research.
Now, let's begin our exploration of some coups. I would like to consider these funny little coups to be the product of the CIA when they were at their most powerful and had their furthest reach with the littlest amount of oversight. All very fun things, especially when combined and given unprecedented power in the United States government. Do you believe this is real life? I'm going to be using the word coup a lot. I assume most of you know what it is, but I will go ahead and give a definition. A coup, a sudden, violent, and unlawful seizure of power from a government. Yeah, coup d'etat. They've happened a lot. There's a whole shit ton of them. Okay, guys, and we've done a lot ourselves. We've done a whole shit ton of them. In the early 1960s, before the times of trouble in the 70s, political instability, economic instability flooded South America, specifically Brazil. Brazil was stricken with high inflation and some economic stagnation.
In the case of Brazil, the democratically elected government of President João Goulart, also known as Jango, was overthrown by an opposition faction within the armed forces, supported by the more conservative elements of Brazilian society.
These two things in unison led to some social unrest in the country. A little bit of cheeky social unrest. President
João Goulart.
I don't know how to say his name. It's Portuguese. I'm not Portuguese. That's a hard language. A fellow known also as Jango with a J, not a D.
Military circles were suspicious of Jango due to his radical reform plans, leftist tendencies, and alleged communist ties.
His leftist policies seemed to alienate conservative sectors of Brazil's society, including the military, the business elites, and the Catholic Church, all very important pillars of civilization at those times, and still now. Jango's policies such as land reform and income redistribution created a ton of unrest in the political sphere, and it caused unease in the country. Great unease.
Goulart had begun raising taxes on corporations and increasing social tensions. Later that year, the Kennedy White House was upset about President Goulart's independent foreign policy during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Jango was democratically elected vice president in 1960 alongside Jânio Quadros.
The following round of elections handed the presidency to PTB's Jânio Quadros in 1960.
This guy left power and resigned in 1961, and Jango took over. Immediately when Jango took over, he was accused of colluding with communists. At the time, very bad. You can't do it. Well, I mean, if you don't want to die, very bad. If you don't want to get killed by the CIA, very bad. He was seen as trying to break apart the military hierarchy that was established by his predecessor, because when he took office, he quickly began signing independent foreign policies, and he began expanding relations with the socialist bloc. Oh, God. He also opposed sanctions that the U.S. put against Cuba. You can't do that. Ever heard of the Bay of Pigs? We'll talk about that too later. Jango's socialism kept on going throughout 1963 and 1964. He implemented more policies such as the profit remittance law and the expropriation of private land and oil refinery laws, which angered a lot of people and foreign investors specifically. And in light of this, conservative forces mobilized against him. This includes the CIA. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. I'm on their side. Always choose the CIA! Jango also was kind of like the Jimmy Carter of Brazil. He lost support on both sides. He sucked. He was implementing policies that neither the left or right wanted at the time, which is kind of hard to do. I feel like shit was kind of easy back then. You just pick a side, kind of like what you do now. You can't be a real leader and try to change shit for your own. It's like rewriting Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire or whatever. You don't know more than George R.R. Martin, you idiot. Stop. Just listen to capitalism versus communism. And then just go. The CIA began their anti-Jango plan in the early 1960s, and they started planning with oppositional forces to create a military coup. They did a bunch of covert operations, and they also financially supported his opposing side. Conservatives, I guess. Pretty much everybody, it seems like. Nobody liked to support Jango guy. Over time, the CIA would intensify their operations more and more. They funded media outlets. They supported anti-Jango political campaigns. They built more and more connections with the Brazilian military, who fully supported the coup. Like I mentioned, that military hierarchy that existed before he came to power. The country was mad. There were food shortages, declining GDP, inflation was destroying the country, and more people were on strike, and they wanted change. Down goes Jango. Now, Jango wasn't thought to be a full-on commie Marxist, but the connections that he held with other communists did cause a great deal of social unrest in the political sphere. People were afraid that communists would move onto their land and take control of everything that was going on. And because of all this, a coup was planned. U.S. stepped in. Operation Brother Sam was a go. Operation Brother Sam was awesome. It was the intended use of the United States Navy and Air Force to back up anti-Jango rebels.
Gordon must have had a taste for cloak and dagger, as he recommended that the weapons be delivered via unmarked submarine to be offloaded at night in isolated shore spots in the state of Sao Paulo.
So crazy, dude. We went to Operation Brother Sam. The United States provided a transfer of fuel by sea to the insurgent military and left a squadron near Brazil to take more supplies in by air. The USS Forstall, a helicopter carrier, and 6 destroyers were loaded in the Caribbean. The activities by the U.S. were in preparation for Ralphio, who planned the coup for early April and eventually initiated the coup by mobilizing troops from Minas Gerais towards Rio de Janeiro, which is one that I can actually say because I've heard of it before. Jango was very scared, and he didn't want a war or a civil war or any of that stuff, and he quickly traveled from Rio de Janeiro to Brasilia and then Porto Alegre. He originally intended to gather loyalist forces there, but quickly changed his mind for fear of a civil war War, which once again, he did not want. He did not want war, which is good, because there probably would have been a terrible civil war.
The president first flew to Brasilia, where he attempted to gather together support for the legitimate government, but he met with little success. Sensing that his defeat was a fait accompli, Jango fled to his home state of Rio Grande do Sul, and then, after several days, he went into self-exile in Uruguay.
Now, like any good coup insurgent assumes, these guys assumed that they were going to mobilize and get shot. So they were ready to fight. I mean, they were. This is a real battle. They even had awesome World War I tanks. I mean, what the? Just kidding. I don't have any clue what that is. I don't even know. Is it a? I don't know, dude. I mean, World War II, not World War I. I don't know. What is that tank? I don't know what that is. Tell me what that is down below, guys. I really like the way it looks. I like it a lot. General Filo not only expected a lot of resistance, he expected some resistance. Thought it would take around 4 months to complete this coup. However, the coup, the crisis, was averted by Jango himself. He vetoed the conflict to make sure there was no bloodshed, like a good guy, and quickly left the city where they were going to march in. Just left. So, because of Jango just leaving, the Senate declared his position vacant. Wasn't voted on or anything like that, but he ran away. He was still in the country at the time. He had not been impeached. He didn't resign. He didn't leave. This was not a legal process, but he just wasn't there. He ran away. He was like, ah! Ran off. Since he went around there, nobody wanted him there, and everyone was just kind of ready to turn on him. The president of the Chamber of Deputies, Muniri Mazzilli, was next in line for succession and was sworn in as president in 1964. But then, 13 days went by, and another guy went in, Castelo Branco. This is all in 1964. Crazy turn of events. They think that this original guy took office so Jango could officially be taken out as soon as possible, constitutionally, legally. But Castelo Branco, that guy, he's in there, man. Pretty cool guy. Look at him. He looks a little old, gonna be honest. So Mr. Branco becomes president, or dictator, I guess, the guy that the CIA and the US wanted to be the man behind Brazil. Coup dissolves, thousands of people are arrested. There's an unconstitutional president, leader, whatever. Who the cares, guys? We really dicked with it. And it was all for nothing in the end. It was a dictatorship, and eventually they developed high relations with the Soviet Union in spite of American dominance. LBJ, not exactly a genius when it comes to, well, really anything, to be honest, yeah. Do you guys think that we would have overthrown the Brazilian government if JFK wouldn't have been assassinated? What do you think? Take a guess. Comment below. Yay! Smash like! I think it's important to note that just in general, the entire reason and involvement of the United States and the CIA for any of this shit is to stop the spread of communism during the Cold War and establish America as a hegemony. No one can come close to us, especially not those commies. That's at least what's on the package. Generally, what you get is different. You just have a president illegally sworn in who becomes a dictator and eventually becomes a red and then gets assassinated. Happens a lot. Or happened a lot. So many years have gone by. On the 40th anniversary of the coup, declassified documents shed light on the U.S.'s actual involvement in Operation Brother Sam and the 1964 coup of Brazil. We have it clearly. The information of a delivery of arms of non-U.S. origin, of course, were made available to Mr. Branco and the supporters in Sao Paulo. These weapons were pre-positioned prior any outbreak of violence, which there was none, thankfully, and Operation Brother Sam intended to airlift 110 tons of ammunition and CS agent gas for mob control. Basically, we helped them get really ready for this shit. They were so ready, dude. We were providing as much support as possible. All of these munitions were ready to be provided within 16 hours on the U.S. president's word. LBJ! Yay, the greatest president. The greatest president. The worst vice president, though. Oh yeah, also it was unnecessary, like we mentioned, because the opposition was way weaker than the U.S. had guessed. Jango ran away. There was no need for any heavy arms, nothing to overthrow the government, none of that. And in light of all this, Castelo Branco had his military rule until 1985. It's funny to look at their plans. They had a bunch of plans. They didn't need any of this. They had like 4 months of, we're going to put men here, and we're going to stick men here and stuff, and we're going to put a base here. The guy's like, tell the truth. Jango literally just runs away. And I would call him a coward due to his quick surrender of his country. Just kidding. If you look into it and use your brain, it seems like he actually did care about his country. Crazy. Wow. Maybe he saw beyond the capitalists and the communists. Wow. Crazy, man. It was a no-joke coup, though. If he would have died. So, you know, maybe he did. I don't know. Who cares? So yeah, Jango didn't really want to concede when it came to reforms and things like that with the government. He just invoked a bloodless suicide, and there you go. That's how it goes. Fast forward 12 years to the Argentinian coup of 1976. The troubled times. I love learning about the 70s. That's when Bushes were big, and George H.W. Bush's Bush was bigger, especially in 1976.
That's when he became the director of the CIA.
He had a huge bush, I bet. The president of Argentina, Juan Perón, died of natural causes on July 1st, 1974. His wife, then vice president, and weird, kind of a, extreme power couple there, Isabel Perón, took over the country in her husband's place. Is that a good idea to have the vice president and president be wife and husband? This woman inherited this country during severe political and economic crisis. Around the whole world, we were going through a lot of trouble, but here, South America was extra bad. There was a great deal of instability in her political power. As a result of this instability, she faced growing opposition, and on February 5th, 1975, Operativo Independencia was launched. With the launch of Operation Independence, there's a lot of complicated work that falls under this. Okay, guys, and I'd need an entire video to really get into the depth of Operation Independence, Operation Condor, Juan Perón, Peronism, the AAA, all of the insane shit that happened during this time, 1975 up into the early 80s. All right, it was a dirty war. 22,000 to 30,000 people died. There was guerrilla-style warfare. There were Death squads, leftists were killed, communists were killed, so much shit was going on. Isabel, the once vice president, now president of Argentina, was at the head of it for a little while, and she worked closely with death squads that wanted to maintain the established order. And I mentioned Operation Condor earlier. That shit also deserves its own video. There were coups, assassination attempts, and more.
Plan Condor was the military dictatorship's hunt of leftist organizations and urban guerrilla groups that were coordinating across the region. Many of its victims were in Argentina.
And this doesn't have anything to do with CIA yet. Or does it? Ugh. Basically, the point is, Argentina, 1975, things very, very, very unstable, whatever it is. With all this uncertainty and all these battles going on, Isabel was losing political power quickly, and many of her team told her to resign. Outright, she should definitely step away from it all. However, she would not back down. Crazy. Who would have guessed people don't like it when their country's full of war and people dying? But this all didn't have as much control as she thought. As most leaders, and there was a coup coming. This video is about coups. Remember, and specifically the CIA and their involvement in coups around the world. On March 23rd, 1976, 3 years after my father was born, I don't know. Fun fact, leading up to the coup, military leaders alongside CIA support were finalizing their plans and positioning their forces across the country to get rid of Isabel. Mrs. Perón. May Peronism die. On March 24th, 1976, a single day later, after the previous date I read, they were ready to put their plans into action. Tanks, troops pushed through without much resistance into major cities. Around 1 a.m., Isabel Perón was detained and taken by helicopter to El Mesero residence, and a few hours later, all TV and radio stations were interrupted by a military march. And this was a broadcast telling the nation that they were under the control of the General Commander's junta of the armed forces.
Colocado al borde de la disgregación, la intervención de las Fuerzas Armadas ha constituido la única alternativa posible.
Mr. CIA kept a close and watchful eye to stop the spread of communism, and they dug their hands deep in Operation Condor and the dirty war of South America. There were over 9 coups, somewhere between 9 and 100 coups between the 50s and 70s, most of which the CIA was directly involved in, which is pretty funny. Working in the shadows to remove people from power, stop the spread of communism, and just kill people, it seems like. That's what it seems like a lot of this was to do. Now, if we travel back in time a year to 1975 again, we get to the Australian coup.
We realized this could get dangerous.
There it goes, Tom. Let's go. That's right, guys. The Australian coup.
It was the standard regime change playbook that the US uses in every nation from Iran to the Philippines. Later to a Congress hearing that the CIA's aim was to get rid of the government that did not like it, not cooperative. It's Chile, but much more sophisticated than something called cognitive dissonance.
What the? An Australian coup? Isn't Australia like, kind of like us? Like just a shittier version of just America and Britain and stuff? That's what I thought. Also known as the Australian Constitutional Crisis of 1975, or just the Australian Coup of 1975, was a crisis detailing the controversies and eventual dismissal of then Prime Minister Gough Whitlam. Terrible name, to be honest. Terrible ass name. Mr. Whitlam was a part of the Labour Party of Australia. It's one of those weird political parties. They got like more than 2, which is kind of cringe in my opinion. That's sarcastic, by the way. This was at the time of his election in 1972. Whitlam's successful election had ended the 23-year reign of the Liberal Country Coalition, which was a massive deal in the 70s in Australia. However, it is believed that his eventual dismissal in 1975 had a direct involvement from Mr. CIA. Okay? This is based on his relations with the US and his actions that went directly against them.
The US built this huge cooperative space station called Pine Gap. If you don't know anything about it, let's explain it this way. Do you remember the movie The Dish? Because completely forget that. This was just to spy on the Chinese. Looks like Chairman Mao is eating noodles again. Whitlam discovered a bunch of information they were deliberately withholding from us, their allies, using the guise that they're just protecting their little brother. No, it's okay, US. You don't have to be patronising to us. We're Aussies. We're patronising enough to ourselves, thank you. One of these secrets is that they're actually using Pine Gap to bomb Cambodia, essentially just for the lols. I always wondered what happened to lurkers on 4chan before 4chan existed. Apparently they just took up jobs in the CIA. So Whitlam said to the US, how about you abide by the contract you signed with us, otherwise I'm closing down Pine Gap, which was taken aboard as constructive criticism by our great friends the US, and by that I mean, as former senior CIA officer Victor Marchetti explained, a kind of Chile coup was set in motion.
You can't go against the US, guys. You can't do that. You'll lose. Haven't you heard that baller Joe Biden speech? We invented the finish line or whatever? We own it. What did he say?
We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it.
I forget.
Minnesota!
Whitlam had strong ties to the US before he was elected, and in 1964 he received a leader travel grant and spent 3 months studying under both US military and government officials. Basically, this is him sitting in that chair from that one movie with Ryan Gosling in it, and they're just like edging. They're just like, cannot edge all day. Edging. Cannot talk to woman. Riz. Find the meme. Somebody find the meme! Put it in the video! What is that movie where he gets, what? Where he gets manipulated. As soon as this rat bastard was elected to office, he began leading a quite controversial career. Not only within Australia, but also in US affairs, which you cannot do, guys, unless you want. Twice back in the head. Stop! Whitlam pulled a bit of a meme. As soon as he came to power within Australia, he pulled all Australian forces out of Vietnam and criticized the US bombings of North Vietnam, which is a big no-no.
Whitlam's Minister for Labour, Clyde Cameron, met with Marshall early on and said, what if we wanted to nationalise all of the industries that US corporations are currently sucking off in Australia? Which his response was, quote, oh, we'll just move here. Let's do this. Ye old history? Still think politics is boring in Australia? Come on. How is this less interesting than feminists getting owned on camera? Campus Volume 600. He then had CIA operatives infiltrate both major parties, the trade unions, the bureaucracy of Australia, and then bugged Parliament.
Not only did Whitlam criticize the US, but numerous ministers had also criticized the action. So pretty bad, honestly. That's not good. Only a few months later, after he took power in 1973, U.S. Secretary of State William Rogers told Richard Nixon, the least corrupt president of all time, that leftists within the Labour Party would try to throw overboard all military alliances and eject our highly classified U.S. defense base installations from Australia. They were not that big of fans of this guy Whitlam and his PMs or whatever they call him out there. President? I don't know, dude. King? Might as well be king. Also in 1973, Whitlam would stop the ASIS, Australian Secret Intelligence Service, involvement with the CIA in their work to overthrow Chilean President Salvador Allende, who had Marxist ideas and would eventually be overthrown by the CIA. Anyways, and replaced with a classy little dictatorship to stop the spread of communism in South America, guys.
The National Congress chose Allende, and he began to implement many socialist reforms. These helped bolster his popularity, but the Americans withdrew aid to Chile, and the country suffered through mass inflation. Plus, his close connections with socialist leaders like Castro worried many on the right. So, in Parliament, they united to form a confederation of democracy and stopped further reforms. And the CIA helped run opposition to Allende, like the El Mercurio newspaper, which called for him to be overthrown.
Nothing says democracy like spreading democracy. You know? Hey man, rules for thee, not for me. You guys don't get democracy, you get a dictatorship. Because you're too stupid to vote. You're too stupid to vote. Or whatever they believe. I don't know, that's not what I believe. This is where shit gets really interesting. In March of 1973, it seems like March is the month, or around March and April are the months where everything important politically has ever happened. Whitlam's Attorney General raided the Australian Security Intelligence Organization headquarters, and it was said by CIA agents present that the Australian Federal Police barged in and searched the place.
Whitlam also wished to investigate the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation since it had previously spied on his party. He had them raided in 1973 and demanded a list of all CIA operatives in Australia. And soon after this, he publicly accused numerous people in positions of power of being American spies as well. And the Americans did not respond well to this and made it clear that if Whitlam continued down this road, the US would be forced to make adjustments.
The public then began to distrust Whitlam's intentions. One journalist, Brian Toohey, said that Whitlam's government was a major threat to the United States. Which public? Our public or the public of Australia or any other public that has ever existed? By 1974, probably in March, this man was in hot water, not only with the US but also with the Australian public. I lie, it was also with the Australian public. He kept trying to pass budget bills which went against the Australian Constitution. This guy kind of sucked. This led to a double dissolution, which only happened twice in Australian history. Double dissolution is kind of like a hold up in court. You just pass deadlocks, people don't agree, and you just gotta like, I don't know, I don't know, dude, they got weird laws out there. I'm not gonna learn it. Whitlam's opposition, the Liberal Country Party, had a majority of the Senate and kept rejecting his shitty bills. It would even take a joint sit down to eventually pass 6 bills that had even been proposed. This type of behavior and these actions made this man extremely unpopular within his own country, and while some of his bills were good intentioned, his actions were viewed as unconstitutional repeatedly, and this is where it was believed that the CIA really became involved, because that's what we do, guys. We uphold the Constitution. That's generally what we do, I think.
Whitlam called for an election in 1974, and whilst he won the House, he lost the Senate, meaning more deadlock and no more spending. Not to worry though, because foreigners exist. And Whitlam had the authority to borrow money through Australia's Loan Council without the Senate's approval. Whitlam's government didn't tell the Loans Council though, and secretly tried to borrow money from Saudi Arabia. This was leaked, and so the politicians involved did something clever. They lied. And when these lies became public, they were promptly sacked and Whitlam's reputation was damaged.
Within the same year, Whitlam ordered the ASIO to sever all ties with the CIA, which is a really bad idea, you know, especially if you don't want to get killed by the CIA. And this request was ignored by Peter Barber, head of the ASIO, and all operations between the two agencies went covert to escape the Prime Minister's knowledge. So, yeah, exactly. It's pretty wild. In April of 1974, so it was March, Whitlam gave a statement saying, "The Australian government takes the attitude that there should not be foreign military bases, stations, and installations in Australia. We honour agreements covering existing stations. We do not favour the extension or prolongation of any of those existing ones. G'day. Mate, get me another shrimp on the Barbie, mate." Mr. Whitlam would then go on to threaten to close all CIA bases in the country and threaten to reveal the identities of CIA agents in the country. CIA bases at Pine Gap, I've heard of it. A couple cool videos on YouTube of it, and the Joint Defense Facility at were both extremely strategic bases for the U.S. that were threatened to be exposed. Obviously, it's an Oceania. It's a pretty important part of the world, you know? It's a good staging ground for aggravating assets to China, the USSR and stuff. Entering 1975, Prime Minister Whitlam would be under a lot of pressure. Whitlam had already dealt with the backlash from the U.S. and the double dissolution from within his own government. Now, he had gotten into more trouble as he had begun filling free vacancies within the House and Senate in attempts to switch the majority to the Labour Party after the 1974 election, which is kind of not a good idea. Once again, if you don't want to get killed by the CIA.
To further add insult to injury, a Labour Party senator resigned and was replaced against convention by a Conservative, meaning for Whitlam he had zero chance of getting anything through the Senate anymore. Despite this though, Whitlam refused to resign or give his consent to new elections, which the Governor General needed to call them. And this is where the crisis begins in earnest.
And then finally, on November 11th, 1975, Prime Minister Gough Whitlam would be dismissed by Governor General Sir John Kerr.
The Governor General of Australia at this time was a man called John Kerr, a close friend of Whitlam's who was deeply concerned about the deadlock in government. And so Kerr came up with a brilliant solution. He fired Whitlam and appointed the leader of the opposition, Malcolm Fraser, as Prime Minister instead.
Following these events, an election was held and Fraser won in a landslide, securing the Liberal Country Coalition back to power. Here is a speech from Whitlam that he gave shortly after being dismissed, which was iconic for his quips and passive-aggressive nature as the Governor General. You can tell they just wanted to just kill each other. They wanted there to be open rebellion.
Well, may we say, God save the Queen. Because nothing will save the Governor General.
Democracy manifest. A succulent Chinese meal.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this? For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there.
That's real footage, by the way. That's real footage of it right there. Just kidding. It's the other footage. Democracy Manifest. Look at this. Look at all these people. Look at that guy. Isn't it cool that they still wore wigs back then? Powdered wigs. Mashy, it's me. Oh, look at that guy's haircut. I think it's time to let it go. He's got a Fallout mohawk. Yeah, that's awesome. Love that. Now, if you believe this, it seemed that all those involved with the dismissal of Whitlam were somehow, in some way, directly tied to the U.S. And this led many to believe that the CIA directly influenced CARE to remove the prime minister, which does make sense. Why would you want to upset the U.S.? I mean, we're the good guys. That's not to say we're the bad guys. But we're definitely the good guys, though. You see, CARE had been a part of the Congress for Cultural Freedom, which was a conservative group that was being secretly funded by the CIA. Some further evidence of the CIA's involvement includes a CIA contractor decoded messages from the Pine Gap base and states that the CIA wanted Whitlam out of their office after he said he would close the Pine Gap base. So you say, I'm going to close that Walmart. Mr. Walmart is going to eliminate you, basically, is what that says. That's what that means. It's happened before. I mean, you know, I feel like there was a president that was killed saying he wanted to dissolve the CIA. Oh no, that's the one. He's still alive right now, I think. I don't know. Further information from the decoded messages state that CARE was referred to by the CIA as our man CARE, and that they had infiltrated Australian politics and unions to help overthrow Whitlam. So basically, the CIA threw a coup in Australia, which is awesome.
It's funny how there's gonna be one comment that goes, well, that's just election fishing, that's not a coup, idiot. First off, chew on my fat, salty nuts.
Also, a former CIA officer, Victor Marchetti, said that after the threats to close the spy bases in Australia, the CIA and MI6 worked together to overthrow the Prime Minister. MI6 has probably more pull in Australia because of the Queen, or whatever they got. Queen. Funny little fun fact, too, near the height of Whitlam's controversy in 1974, a White House ambassador with the title The Coup Master was sent to Australia.
The Nixon administration then made the man who definitely never had inappropriate fantasies about his daughter, Marshall Green, ambassador to Australia. Nothing sus about that. The man that orchestrated the coup that replaced the Indonesian government with a dictator.
Marshall Green, this guy who got his nickname from his pivotal role in the 1965 coup against Sukarno of Indonesia.
Green also orchestrated overthrowing Greece's government, just to show how much America, the liberators of the world, really care about democracy, setting up in its birthplace a military junta. How crap would Marshall Green be at Secret Santa?
Here, Timmy, I got you a president for life.
And with that shining record, he was then assigned to Australia right after Whitlam told the Americans that Australia is not its toy. Coincidence.
During this time in which Marshall Green was directly involved in, there was a mass murder of about 500,000 communists in Indonesia as well. But the coup master, he helped out Australia. Fast forward 2 years to 1977, Warren Christopher, the United States Deputy Secretary of State, made a trip to Australia in which he told Whitlam that on behalf of President Jimmy Carter, the U.S. would never again interfere with Australia's democratic process. Thank you, Jimmy Carter, for putting your foot down. This statement, as you can imagine, is often used as evidence of the CIA's involvement with removing Whitlam from office as again, it infers that it has happened before. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh yeah, by the way, follow the money. Lastly, a guy named William Blum, an American journalist, once wrote that Nugan Hand Bank, an Australian bank, not sure why it's got that name, had alleged connections to the CIA and helped transfer 2.4 million AUD to the Liberal Party of Australia. So money as well. They gave him money as well, allegedly, or whatever.
Why are we not taught this shit? Nor are we taught about the fact that the CIA offered the Liberal Party $24 million laundered through an Australian bank to beat the Whitlam government. Can you imagine how much $24 million would have bought you back then? Would have made even Clive Palmer go, now there is a limit to how many ads you can cream on television.
That's kind of an interesting one because Australia is not South America, or that's like part of Britain. Australia isn't South America or Southeast Asia or a communist country, really. We just didn't really give a in the 70s, the troubled times. So we started off in the US with a business plot, then we went to Brazil, then we went to Argentina, then we went to Australia. Let's go to California. The Symbionese Liberation Army. Have you ever heard of it, guys? Probably not, because it's some really deep, weird shit. While the CIA was working hard across the globe installing dictatorships and killing commies, it seems they were also at work on home soil as well. The United Federated Forces of the Symbionese Liberation Army, or SLA for short, were a far-left terrorist group that resided and operated in California. They believed in anti-capitalism, anti-fascism, and vanguardism, which is a separate version of Leninism. It's all these ancient Soviet shits, or not Soviet. God, I've been talking for a really long time. It's been 2 hours. I've been just yapping. It gets really complicated. I get lost on it a lot. Soviet far after Marxism. Lenin was a Marxist, and then communism is like a thing. Fucking orthodox Marxist communism, Leninism, vanguardism. It's too much to learn about. Too much has happened. What's in my nose right now? Oh, it's a really long mustache hair. That was weird. I kind of look like young Lenin. Or young Stalin, rather, not young Lenin. I look nothing like young Vladimir Lenin. The SLA envisioned their organization to be similar to South American urban guerrillas, and they shared some ideas with Maoism, also massive at the time. This organization was founded by Donald DeFries, aka General Field Marshal Klinik, in 1973 when he escaped from Soledad State Prison after serving 5 years to life for robbing a prostitute. Why would you rob a prostitute? I assume he wanted his money back. Bizarrely enough, DeFries began his recruitment of commies while in prison due to a prison outreach program through UC Berkeley that was backed by Professor Colston Westbrook. This guy will be important later, all right? Students from UC Berkeley at the time were typically white social activists, and DeFreeze's ideology attracted a lot of them to join the SLA movement. Some of the OGs in the SLA include Nancy Ling Perry and Patricia Soltysik, both UC Berkeley students and geniuses who DeFreeze met while he was in prison. Very interesting guy. Soltysik and DeFreeze wrote the first SLA manifesto. Every good group has to have a manifesto. I'm gonna write the Oomaville manifesto pretty soon. Once I finish this video, I'm not even halfway through. Epically enough, the SLA collabed with another little group in the 60s and 70s called the Venceremos, a radical Chicano group that was based in California during the time. Being friends with them, collabing with them allowed DeFreeze to escape the law because he stayed at Venceremos safe houses across San Francisco and Los Angeles. It would only be a few months after DeFreeze escaped from prison that the SLA would become active officially in California, and their first attack would be the murder of a guy named Marcus Foster, a school superintendent in Oakland who they believed was a fascist because of his new policy where students would be required to have ID cards. Totally fascist. Absolutely 100% fascist. Definitely deserving of a murder. A nice looking guy too. What a bunch of freaks. The Goobers also attempted to murder the replacement superintendent, Robert Blackburn, for supporting Foster's beliefs. He was shot with a sawed-off shotgun, but he survived because he's a badass. Two SLA members were arrested, Russell Little and Joseph Ramiro, though they said Soltysik had shot Foster and DeFreeze and Ling had shot Blackburn. The next action of the SLA would be to kidnap Patty Hearst, an heiress to a multimedia and mining fortune based in California. Multimedia in the 70s? What the f*** does that look like? Goddamn, I didn't even know they had multimedia then. Paper and video. So they wanted to use Patty as leverage to free their members from prison and help push their political agenda. Terrorists taking hostages. Ultimately, their fellow members would remain in prison. However, their demands to form a food distribution system would come to fruition for a little while. And initially, they demanded $4 million as a ransom, which would be given to them in the form of food donations to food banks. But that eventually skyrocketed to $400 million because they heard that $4 million, like another Austin Powers moment. What the fuck's going on here? $400 billion of food to the poor. Eventually, it would stop Vitaly style because of large crowds forming and people getting hurt from volunteers throwing boxes of food out of moving trucks. It was insane. After all this, in a strange twist of story, Miss Hearst would succumb to Stockholm Syndrome and join the SLA with a fiery passion for their beliefs. Crazy.
Up in Hillsborough, California, hearing their daughter described no longer as a witness but as a criminal now, the Hearsts have this to say.
I just hope everybody will remember that physically Patty is still a kidnapped victim. She was taken away against her will. And psychologically, she's a victim of thought control by terrorists.
On April 15th, 1974, 1 month after my favorite month, March, the group robbed the Hibernia Bank in San Francisco, in which 3 SLA members took part. Patty is even seen brandishing a rifle. Look at her. That's crazy. She looks like an SCP. DeFreeze was seen in the bank, and there was another unknown member, probably Donnie Rhubarb. The SLA group stole $10,000 to fuel their organization. There's even security footage of the bank robbery, which is awesome. I didn't know they had security footage in the 70s. Does that even work? Oh, it looked like shit. If they have security footage that high quality in the 70s, why the is there anything blurry now? The SLA would eventually lose some of its steam when a robbery gone wrong led to the death of all their founding members. Big giant L. 3 members, William Harris, Emily Harris, and Patty Hearst, went to a sporting goods store to get supplies, but William tried to steal a bandolier because he's an idiot. He was confronted by a security guard, pulled out a revolver. He was half handcuffed, and Hearst, watching the van outside, saw what was going on in the store and began to shoot, allowing the Harrises to flee to the van. The 3 of them eventually abandoned the van, and most of the SLA fled to a safe house after seeing news coverage of the event. The police found the van, and they found a parking ticket with an address to the safe house, which is kind of a gigantic, massive L, and the police also would just show up based on an anonymous call saying there was a group of heavily armed people at their daughter's home, which is awesome as well. As soon as the police showed up, a massive shootout would begin. Cops had fully automatic weapons, where the SLA had modified M1 carbines that could also shoot full auto. Eventually, it turned into a full-on siege. Shit like this was crazy. Didn't happen much in Cali. The LAPD used tear gas on the house, and one of the canisters would catch the house on fire, and this is where the SLA genuinely would begin to just fall apart.
More than an hour, thousands of rounds of automatic weapons and small gunfire were exchanged between police and the suspects inside the house. 6 tear gas assaults were made in an attempt to flush out the fugitives, until finally, houses on either side, as well as the pink wood and stucco fortress, caught fire. A fire believed to have been started by an exploding gas canister.
Nancy Ling Perry would leave the house shooting her gun, and she got shot and killed. Another member, Camilla Hall, who also left with Perry, was shot, but dragged back into the house. DeFreeze, like any great leader of a cult does, took his own life in a small crawl space of the home. Soltysik and a couple other people all died from smoke inhalation in the house, so it's pretty bad. And finally, the Harrises and Patty Hearst would remain at large until a subsequent bank robbery in 1975. Hearst put out a recording talking about the lost members of the SLA and her strong beliefs in their stuff. It's pretty crazy, and the whole thing is wild.
Tim too loved the people with tenderness and respect. He helped me see that it's not how long we live that's important, it's how we live. Selena was beautiful. She exploded with a desire to kill the pig.
So, what does all this have to do with the CIA? You probably forgot we were in a CIA video, didn't you? You probably did, you bastard. During Patty Hearst's trial, a tape was played where at the end, DeFreeze would talk about how he wanted to kill Colston Westbrook. That guy in prison, the UC Berkeley guy, remember him? He said that he was a government agent working with military intelligence. Like we mentioned earlier, Westbrook often recommended students from UC Berkeley to go to the prison program where DeFreeze would recruit his first members. Westbrook was a former CIA advisor to the CIA in South Korea and specialized in the indoctrination of assassination and terrorist cadres. What? What the? Are you telling me that this shit, hold on a second. Furthermore, when Mr. Westbrook came back from South Korea in 1970, he would be assigned to run the Black Cultural Association, the same program that he would recommend students to meet inmates. He was also the control officer for Mr. DeFreeze. Additionally, DeFreeze had worked as an informant for the Public Disorder Intelligence Unit for the LAPD. So it's really confusing and bizarre. It's believed that the SLA was created to combat the Black Panther Party, which at the time was the dominant political movement and party within California that everyone was scared of, especially politicians. Evidence of this includes the assassination of Mr. Marcus Foster, which we talked about earlier, the superintendent of the school. He had agreed to implement Black Panther Party educational policies into his school districts. Even more evidence is from an investigator known as Lake Headley. I don't believe that's a real name, but anyways, let's pretend that it is. He was a former police intelligence officer, which is like kind of a lame, say, agent. Him and his team were hired to investigate the death of SLA member Willie Wolf. Based on their investigation, they concluded that the SLA was part of the CIA's Chaos program, which was a domestic espionage program that went from 1967 to 1974. They also concluded that the SLA was trying to kill Black Panther Party leader Huey Newton for his close ties to Marcus Foster. I'm bad with names. Look at Huey Newton. It'd be cooler if he had a better gun, to be honest. That's kind of a lame gun. It looks like he's about to go hunting or something for like Cape Buffalo. Like a frog gig. Probably some religious artifact I just made fun of. Now, people are under the belief that the SLA was a trained assassination squad by the CIA to combat the Black Panther Party, and Westbrook would work with DeFreeze and other members to supply them with weapons, intel, and housing within the California prison system and college campuses to find new members for their squad. How unbelievable is that? That's crazy! This idea also explains how DeFreeze was quite literally able to walk out of the prison he was held in and just escape the law magically. So yeah, the SLA was probably a direct result of the CIA's Chaos program and was fully developed to fight the Black Panther Party on American soil. Pretty cool. A coup within the United States. Oh yeah, and they went rogue, apparently, too. That's another part of the story. It is believed that the CIA had the SLA terminated when DeFreeze went rogue and was no longer listening to the CIA's directions. The SLA's ideologies, by the way, were directly against what the CIA wanted. When DeFreeze let his beliefs fully take over, they could no longer aid him. They killed him. Dead. Shootout, siege, the end.
Hey guys, welcome to TNN. I saw the top comment about me talking over Brian, so I'm going to leave Brian have the reins this video. Isn't that right, Brian?
That's totally true. My co-anchor will not speak for the first 5 minutes, and then for the remaining of the video, it's just all his.
Stop.
Enjoy!
Oh, the Black Ops 6 trailer. Let's go.
I haven't watched this.
This is the Vanis Crew reacting to the new Black Ops 6 trailer, folks. Here we go.
No, it's not. It's Nogla and Terrorizer reacting.
No, it's Vanis Crew, guys.
It's us.
Shh. We're recording. Truth is, your whole life is a lie. Did you get Bill Clinton?
Yeah, they got Bill Clinton.
Did you get the real Bill Clinton?
Yeah, they got the real Bill Clinton after the Epstein Islands to sit down and talk about Black Ops 6.
It really looks like Bill Clinton, though.
I'm sure that's what they were going for.
We hit the door, and now it rages on in the shadows.
Behind closed doors.
And the real Margaret Thatcher?
Yeah, she came back from the dead for this.
So we build trust, the world falls apart around you. If you weren't so distracted.
Bush Senior!
You realize nothing is what it seems.
This is so... Oh my gosh, the real Castro.
They got the real Borat.
Look in the dark.
That was Saddam Hussein, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And the guy who's the face of Black Ops is black, dude. This is the best Call of Duty ever.
It should have been White Ops. We're gonna send in our black team into White Ops.
White Ops 6. Oh my god. Look at that likes and dislikes though. People are hyped, man. 12 million views 6 days ago. Lots of likes.
I used to love Black Ops 1 and 2. The storyline being very like political. You know what I mean? Like like the JFK stuff that they did with, you know, like in the campaign and the zombies. I like when they have like real politicians to make it feel like it's a real secret service kind of thing.
Just so we can really say the Vanis Crew reacting to the Black Ops 6 trailer, here's Wildcat's tweet so we can do that. Shit, it's happening. I'm getting kind of excited for Black Ops 6.
Oh, that's good. That's a ray of positivity from Wildcat.
A rare positive tweet. Yeah, that's true.
So let's see how long it lasts when the game comes out.
Always nice to see Call of Duty lean into historical events. Treyarch is cooking right now. That's pretty much what you said.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you have an interest in history and real life stuff, then feeling like you're actually living part of it is way more interesting than some bullshit storyline. With Conor McGregor and Jon Snow, who gave a shit about that storyline? Remember that one? Do you not remember that Call of Duty, the storyline of Conor McGregor was one of the henchmen?
No. Oh my gosh, I forgot he was even in this.
Yeah, it was like, who gives a shit?
I think people like the whole political World War III threat or war threat kind of a thing, and you have to stop it, or I started, I don't know, but I've never really played Call of Duty campaigns, but I think this might be my first.
I like them. Black Ops especially.
Call of Duty 6, rumored to have remastered most OG maps.
How many fucking variations of Nuketown do we need to play? Make new, interesting maps. I just feel like a lot of the Call of Duties lately has just been like, remastered this map, remastered this map, pay $150 and you also
get
the
this. Money. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but
come on, make some new memorable maps for us to like enjoy.
There needs to be some new maps that will be very memorable and remastered in the future.
And do a DLC drop like they used to do in Black Ops, where there'd be the DLC with each DLC pack one remastered map from a previous thing, but with 3 new maps to enjoy. But you have a remaster of a previous.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
But doing that old school, like, you know, every few months there's gonna be the new DLC drop and new maps. It got me excited for Call of Duty map drops.
Look at this correlation, Brian.
Black Ops 6 and the new GTA.
Yeah, we're back, baby. I'm back, dude. It's finally time, bro.
Well, not for Call of Duty.
Dude.
Last time we played Call of Duty, Evan made this goddamn depressing intro about how he's fucking at a video game.
Stop. I just want to pretend. Let me pretend.
Everyone in the comments was like, oh, I feel so bad for him. He's so... Fucking just play the game, Evan. We'd have a lot of fun. If we got all of us just playing Black Ops 6 on drop, we'd have a great time.
I know. Guys, pray for Evan, guys, because we're going to need a miracle for Black Ops 6.
Stop overthinking Call of Duty and just play with us. It'll be funny.
When you can't reason with someone, you pray for them, okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I've learned.
God damn.
3M in 2010. 3M in 2012. 3M in 2015. 3M in 2024.
I love the way they just skipped Black Ops 4.
Yeah, well, like... Yeah,
I played the shit out of Blackout. Blackout was amazing.
Blackout was fantastic. I enjoyed playing that with you.
I miss Blackout.
It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. I'm buying into all of the hype. When you buy Black Ops 6 and there's a fucking battle pass, you know, friends, all these, and it has fucking Warzone in it. And when you buy Black Ops 6 and you're still using operators and zombies instead of a new storyline with a new crew. These are all Brian. When you play Black Ops 6 and it's just Modern Warfare and Cold War combined. Oh, you see, you can buy guys set as an operator.
All 4 foot of them.
I don't want to buy creators as operators personally.
No.
But I know fans do, but for sure. When you buy Black Ops 6 with high expectations, think it's going to be its own thing, like the previous Black Ops, but it's just not. Oh man, this is getting rid of all the excitement. We're still Black Ops 6, but you're still not allowed to create your own emblems. Oh my, this is Brian. This is all of Brian's issues summed up in memes.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope it doesn't come true.
We'll see.
Pokemon's editor told her he couldn't make deadlines because he was busy touching himself to her videos while editing them. Oh my god, it's my first time seeing this.
Hey, do you have time to talk? I'm ready to finally tell you why I've been struggling so much with deadlines. And I said, oh, like, great. Hopefully this is something that we can fix. Tell me why he proceeds to tell me that the reason why he would sometimes turn around videos a week or two late is because he couldn't stop touching himself.
I want that to look, he was a coomer. This is as she's saying it, because you know there's a delay on Twitch with chat. He kind of predicted it.
So this is why Clyde has been slow with my edits.
Clyde? None of my editors are slow. None of my editors are slow. They get everything done fast.
One sec.
Oh, phone call, good.
Hey, quick question. Is the reason why some of my videos have been late editing, have you been jacking off my videos again?
Oh yeah, yes. I just, I was a big fan of you prior to editing, and I got the opportunity. I just couldn't control myself.
Okay. Well, hurry up. We have a video from like 2 months ago. You're late, so hurry up on that, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right,
sorry about
thanks,
that.
bro. Right, talk to you later. It's so hard to find good work these days, guys. Here's the thing. I feel like she didn't even need to talk about that.
No, she definitely didn't.
She was like, I'm gonna wait for a time to talk about how my editor just found me so attractive and couldn't stop to my edit. This is why it's good to just be a man and hire male. Hire male. If I was her, I'd be looking for female editors.
Yeah, if I was a woman streamer, I would hire women. I'm male, so I hire males.
Or else gay men.
No, I wouldn't hire a gay man.
We know that because you hate gays.
No, because I'm so good looking.
But I'm talking about if I was a female.
Oh, you hire a gay man if you're female. Yeah.
I'm just so good looking. I'm cranking it every day. Where's that video from 4 months ago?
I just can't edit it. I keep cranking. Jesus, bro. This is just why Evan Gold's editors like these guys. I can't wait to get his eyes on him.
Bro, that makes, you know what this draws like a lot of female content creators are now going to be like slowly looking at their editors like, wait a second. They're thinking of all the times like, you know, Jessica Negri's like editors like, oh sorry, the video might be late by like 3 months.
Editor response.
No way, bro. He owns it. Okay, King.
All right, I'll address this once and for all. Yes, she's talking about me in late 2018. Look, I've been reading out various editors on her YouTube presence. A long time channel hers.
I think Clyde read this. I feel like you know,
you can imagine the joy I felt when she offered the job to me. You can imagine the boner. Things were going smoothly for the first few months, but as time passed, the comments are struggling to meet deadlines as I truly captured by her beauty and get distracted by her allure whilst editing. It is the same thing didn't work out. It never became public, and I apologize to fucking. This has to be a fucking shitpost. This has to be a shitpost. It seems no one can tell I'm joking.
Okay.
When I purposely spread misinformation over the internet. Yeah.
Okay, so he wasn't the editor.
He trolled. He got it.
That's a great double bluff.
Funny situation. Let's continue to get in. What a great episode, folks. Same thanks. Destroy the mission. I'm like a 1v1 roast. Did he do an Xbox 362? Yeah, it looks like it did. Yeah, it did. He won 20-2.
Do you know what? Like, Banks was like the biggest amount of crap people saying he was going to lose. I've seen the compilation of people just saying, oh no, Nate's going to win.
I think this is the video we're about to watch. Is that compilation? So here we go.
I can keep going.
All I know is Nate Shot playing, and he's how to get a Nate Shot.
Nate Shot currently plays hard.
Well, to be fair, all 100 Ds right there. So, yeah. I got even with 100 Ds as well.
I expect it to be a landslide. Nate's him. Nate's gonna be him, bro. Braden's telling me Nate Shot. I
do think Nate Shot probably should practice more before actually playing Xbox 360 with the controller.
They're playing on Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox 360. Nate has been playing the modern games, and also probably on mouse and keyboard as well. But also the thing is, when you're good at quickscoping and sniping, I feel like that's muscle memory that doesn't leave a lot of people. Like, I don't think like Nate was a notorious quickscoper trickshotter. He's a Call of Duty player.
And they did say that in like the face-off kind of meetup thing.
I don't think Banks would be the kind of guy to be like. I think he'd be like kind of aware of that. Would say like, this is really fair.
He said if this was like a CDL Black Ops 2 1v1 with the classic submachine guns or the AN-94, well, yeah, he would lose the Nate Shot. And Banks said that. He was like, this is quickscope and you're fucked. He was wrong. Yeah, this is it. W bags for sure. W bags.
But the thing is, like, once you know the spawn, look, see, he knows the spawn like rotation.
Yeah,
the Nate was so good at that. In Call of Duty World of War, she knew the spawn point.
They're bringing back kind of like arcade rivalry, and it's super cool to see. Like,
this kind of stuff would be hype for Black Ops 6.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they did more big fights with the OGs.
Bring the OGs back and have a 1v1 and do fun shit like this.
And this is a really good move from Banks.
You know, shit on there. Oh my gosh.
That's a big move for what Banks did, like with FaZe, like getting rid of a lot of people and then trying to redirect the brand. Like doing stuff like this, he needs to sit his ass down and do more events like this.
Yeah,
and,
for sure. You know what event needs to happen though? Syndicate Wings with Engine God 4.
Oh yes.
I just string that fucking shit. Oh, how the fuck you string that shit?
You know me. So if you don't know what it is, it was Wings Redemption said he could beat Syndicate because he's only a Call of Duty Zombies player. Tried to basically talk him down that he's not really a good Call of Duty player. So then Tom stood up and said, right, let's go 1v1. They did a 1v1 on M16's only, I believe, was the good choice, and he got spanked. Tom was in England. Wings was near the host in America, so he had host advantage even. Tom had to deal with a latency. So he's dealing with what, 120 ping maybe around 135, still destroy Wings. Wings got utterly annihilated.
I think that was the beginning of the end.
That was his early loghouse moment.
Up to that point, you just thought he was a big kind of camper. But then once he lost, like, he's shit. Against a decent player, he's shit.
Yeah, he talked a lot of talk, and then he kind of put everything on red, and then, you know, took a risk. It's backfire.
Trump convicted of 34 charges.
Trump has been convicted of falsifying business records, making him the first president to ever be convicted of a felony. The 12 jurors agreed Trump concealed a payment made by his former lawyer to buy adult film star Stormy Daniels' silence of sexual encounter. His sentencing date is set for July 11th.
There you go.
Attorney NDA, honestly, every politician under somebody's mean to matter. Trump got 3 baby mamas, a mugshot, 34 felonies for paying off his side piece. This man is whacker than bro.
Oh Lord, what a tweet.
I love how it's like such an insane moment in political history in America, and people's beans are just overrided. Democrats, I think, are in the Trump party.
There's Lene upstairs.
Fine, get into bed.
We're making a baby.
If you guys didn't know, Lene hates Trump. Take no tomorrow, dude.
I hate him, but I'm not a libtard.
Not nearly Lene's level.
Before we go down in history, the country is divided. Millions of Americans want Biden to win and see Trump go to prison, and millions want Trump to win and see Biden go to prison. This historic period inspired skilled American artists to design the official 2024 President Prison Collection.
And on the other side is Biden in jail.
This is so stupid. I love it. It's such the same day as well, man.
The point has been minted in exquisite detail and layered in pure .999 silver. The artistry and intricate detail are stunning.
That actually is a nice coin. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to buy these coins.
I kind of want to buy these coins.
Preservation and protection for years to come.
Oh, yes, it's a certificate of authenticity as well.
That is brilliant.
I kind of want them. Oh, I love America. And then Trump did go to the UFC, I think, like 2 days after the prosecution. Theo Von right behind him.
Theo Von looked like such a twat during that whole thing.
Trump is a TikTok now. He's on TikTok.
And I wonder if he told him to launch a TikTok.
President is now on TikTok. My honor.
Can't wait to get thrown off this platform. Look at this African American. Thumbs up to you. Look at all these black people. You're a good black guy.
You're copying the TikTok video, Brian. For context, guys.
Black
Brian's
guy
copying the
shaking
TikTok we recorded earlier today. That video's not coming out till Friday. So now it looks really weird that Brian's just talking about Donald Trump and black people.
Yeah, I'm just like, look at all these black people. It's
just Kevin Holland. I love Kevin Holland.
You're just gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a week of Brian look like a racist. Which one is Adesanya? I don't know.
Sean Strickland's take. Oh, well, we have to hear Sean Strickland's take, folks. Last night, UFC fighter Sean Strickland trolled the liberal media by saying, Trump is here, man. Come on, we have a convicted felon here. Let's put on a fucking show for this man. The reporter then fires back. Are you a convicted felon as well? Sean then proceeded to joke about how he was jealous of President Trump because he hooked up with models and has a lot of money. All right, let's listen.
Trump is here, man. Come on, we got a convicted felon. Let's put on a fucking show for this man. Are you one as well? Are you a convicted felon? No, I played a 2 misdemeanor, sir. Okay. I can still own a gun and vote, and apparently run for president. Was it cool to perform in front of Trump? Oh yeah, dude, Trump's a fucking man, you guys. I think we're all Trumpsters here besides the fucking Canadian. Yeah, no, yeah, no, for sure. As long as not fucking Trudeau. Yeah, no, man, dude, Trump is a fucking man. You guys ever meet Trump? You talk to him? You know, like I thought I wouldn't like the guy. You know, I mean, he hooks up with models all the time. You know, he has a lot of money. Like I'm a little jealous, but no, you meet him. He's actually a solid fucking guy. Ask him how to get to know you guys. He's a good fucking dude, man.
Okay, he didn't say anything bad.
No, he's got a joke. All right, next up, we have Eminem's new song. We might get away with the 15 seconds, or 5 seconds, or however many seconds. Yeah, we might get away with just showing that.
Oh, cool. So it's like throwing back to his career.
It's a throwback where he basically brings back Slim Shady from the past to the modern time. And Slim Shady obviously hates modern Eminem because he's not as ruthless and, you know, anti-establishment, etc. And then, spoiler alert, they combine, and it's just really good. And we leave Eminem in 2009. He's a 6-year-old white man, I think white, making fun of a 29-year-old black woman's trauma. This is so anti-black. Using her getting shot as a bar for clout is a low blow. When Megan strikes back, don't cry. Who's a better rapper? Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Really thinks Megan Thee Stallion is a rapper?
I don't know what I would call her. Nobody. Eminem kids. Just
you know, and as you get older, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, Slim Shady is back. My transgender cat Siamese Y identifies as black but acts Chinese. Wait, what's that? Why don't get it?
It's just like coming into the modern time, I'm guessing, and then it's like the comic book strip. I'm guessing there's a woman he was looking at that a cat or something and saying like, you know, my cat is transgender, and it's just like there could be so many memes of like him coming into the future, and then just.
And my transgender cat Siamese identifies as black but acts Chinese. He sees the vision. Basically, it's this guy who makes people like black or Chinese. He's still doing it. He's still making people black or Chinese. What's like the most popular? Oh, there it is. There's Eminem black or Chinese.
That's fantastic. The Chinese one is so good.
It's actually great. For your birthday, I asked Eminem to make a song called Houdini for you, Evan Fong. Enjoy. It's kind of cool that it's like called Houdini, but it looks like delirious.
And it's similar to the stage in GTA that you
guys the stage with the stand-up. I wasn't there, but yeah, and it was Evan's birthday. Did you wish him happy birthday?
No.
I did.
Of course you did. You didn't wish me a happy birthday.
I didn't wish you a happy birthday?
No, you were the only person that wished me a happy birthday.
What? In the whole group? I was the only person that wished you a happy birthday.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
You told me you don't care about your birthdays.
No, I don't really know.
But the group didn't say happy birthday to you.
No, I remember that shit. I took that shit personally. When is your birthday?
6th of July.
Okay, I'll mark it down.
Thanks, man. What's yours again? Is yours in March?
Yeah, very good.
March.
Look at your calendar.
No, I'm not going to look. I'm going to go March 13th.
That's my sister's. Okay, you're one number off.
12th.
No.
14th.
No.
Okay, one number.
Yeah, so one number is correct. Okay, do the math.
22nd.
Very close.
24th.
He goes 22nd. You're very close. You're one number off. 24th. It's the 23rd.
23rd. I can remember that easily by 23rd. As your shitheads. I'll remember on the 23rd, third month of the year. My third time Brian. It's his birthday day. That's how I remember. Oh, the dog from the dog ring died.
No. Rest in peace, puppers. You changed the world for good.
Yeah, he spurred his own Bitcoin and everything.
I hope they got some dough from that.
It's not doing too bad. What? It's doing better than face stock, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. It's actually growing It's actually doubled.
Yeah, it
since
could be
January.
worth buying.
Oh, we should have bought it before he died.
But now it could start going up because it's like when an artist dies, you know, their ship becomes more valuable. This is the time to invest, Nogla. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now we should join forces and doge it up. We won't tell Aaliyah. We won't tell Anae. This will be our little secret.
It'll be our little secret. Just like when we lost thousands on GameStop because of Wildcat. They've been reunited at last. Harambe at the top.
Was there ever like a Harambe coin? Was there ever like?
Let's see.
There should have been Haram coin.
Oh, there is a Harambe coin. It's it's a shit coin. It's a shit coin. This is basically what it's at. Honestly, if I didn't crypto, I'd just buy shit coins for fun. Yeah. That's the way to go. Oh, Mike Tyson is off. Oh, well, post-polling. I don't want to listen to this guy for a minute. No, I ain't listening to that.
Match found.
Yo, Charles, I can smoke the Chinese soldier. Look at this, dude.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, super cool.
Charles, wait!
They think I'm an old dog? I'll show them just how many tricks I know.
Chinese patch where it's like Winnie the Pooh and he's getting like punched out.
No, but I did stop it at Orange Express last night.
Oh, hey guys. Today on Grantham, we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic. Yeah, Kenny, come on. Bring it over. This is Kenny. You want to...
I'm Kenny. I'm the digressor.
No!
I'm Kenny. I work at Onward Research.
In any case, we somehow got our hands on 2 modern Chinese military helmets. We're not going to say where we got them from, but there's the guy's name right there. Just to dox him out. In any case, we have the current modern military Chinese helmets. Now, there are 2
being so young. It's good that she'll die before feeling old like me.
Grenade! Dropping smoke.
Smoke's down. Stim beacon here.
Reloading.
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 Last player standing. Spike down
Jets
B.
down. Enemy down.
versions. One that's a low cut, one that's a high cut. The point...
As much as this world hurt me, it's mine, and I will kill to defend it.
Launching smoke.
Dropping smokes. There. Enemy spots B.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Launching smoke.
Reloading.
Carrier's down.
Spike down B.
Cutting their vision.
The point is, I've never seen these actually tested. The Chinese military is rapidly modernizing. So right here we have a Ballistic Dummy Labs head. We're gonna use a pistol. We have a Volkortsen right here. Why a 22 pistol? Well, the biggest calibers in the world. This is the first test.
Last player standing.
Hey, what would you do if it just smoked through like an airsoft helmet?
I would actually not be that surprised.
All right. Charles, you ready?
Yep.
Firing.
Reyna, the offer stands. Take whatever life you need from me. She deserves it.
Oh, that's a tough helmet cover. How come they don't make stuff that well for us?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like they're
Well, they did. Railroads are still up and going.
What is that joke? Did we like enslave the Chinese and make railroads?
As close to slavery as you could get.
Yeah.
Smoke's down.
Enemy spotted mid.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Have one of these. Reloading.
Launching smoke.
Woo! Spotted mid. No peeking.
Stim beacon down. Spike planted. Launching smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, time for a protein shake.
Last round before the switch.
If you saved, spend it.
Reloading. 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 Grenade.
Smoke's down. Smoke's down.
Your booty is like I never left.
So what I miss?
Enemy spotted. Cycle stage.
Stim beacon down. Launching smoke. Spike planted. My ult's ready.
One enemy remaining.
Open up the sky! Molly!
Switching sides.
Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with accuracy.
Yeah, actually, if you look on the inside here, surprising, but it kind of started to peel back some of the paint. You can see the Kevlar.
Let me turn up the brightness for everyone. Oh yeah, it did. I don't think the iHips did that.
No, that's actually pretty surprising overall.
No more.
Smoke's down right here. Out of here. I can't use that.
Inside.
Smoke's down.
Many enemies feet.
Spike down B.
Enemy removed.
Right here.
Spike spotted B.
Launching smoke.
One enemy remaining.
We got 5. That's bingo. Let's ruin their day. Stim beacon here.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Oh, and if you look, like it actually kind of gouged a little bit.
Respect their elders.
Yeah, parts of the slug. It looks like. Okay, very surprising. Well,
it's at least better than an airsoft helmet thus far.
Step it up. Right here we have the SIG M17. This is the standard sidearm.
Together.
Multiple enemies mid. Enemy spotted mid. Enemy spotted A.
Spike well down A.
Spike is A.
Stim beacon here.
Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
Match point.
You're up. Stay safe. We're going back in.
Smoke's down. Joke's over! You're dead! Smoke's down.
Barrier created.
Spike planted.
Target down.
Last player standing.
That's
One
me.
enemy remaining. Defenders win.
I can't use that.
124 grain
Love this
NATO
team.
plus P
No
ball ammunition.
charges.
This is military ammo.
Dropping
They're
smoke.
firing at this helmet right here. This is a real something that could actually happen, right, Charles?
Yeah, absolutely. You're on the battlefield, you drop your SIG, you fucking hit some Chinese dude in the head.
Hey, Charles, what's your prediction?
It's going right through.
I think it's gonna stop it. Micah?
Straight through.
All right, tell me when you're ready, Charles.
Ready.
That was nice. All right, so we hit it right in the ear.
Found.
And it bulged. There's a good bulge there.
Yeah. I mean, considering how small their heads are, that wouldn't even touch his skull. It would just...
He's good to go. That stopped it, no problem.
Plenty of room. Wow.
Yeah, not bad. Let's slice this open. Kenny.
They think I'm an old
Shit.
dog.
So that caught it no
how many
problem.
tricks I know.
Surprising for Charles, but I kind of expected it. I had faith in the People's
You had
Liberation.
faith in the Chinese?
In the People's Liberation Army.
Oh, yeah. Sorry if I didn't. Sorry if I'm too America.
We're gonna be stepping it up to 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum is a typical test that we do, and in the past, most military helmets have been able to pass it. To be clear, a military helmet isn't held to the same levels as like body armor is, where it's like 3A, 3, and level 4. They're meant to mostly stop frag. However, many military helmets do stop rounds, no problem. So 44, I can't see this stopping it.
I don't know. It stopped 9mm, no problem. I think we're good to go.
For some reason, I just don't want to give any credit to it. You know what I would like to try is if we can get an Indian man out here with a stick, like when they fight each other on the border.
Oh, and up in Tibet?
Yeah.
And stuff?
That'd be sick.
What?
Doesn't really have a lot of punch-through power, you know? When it hits materials, I feel like it kind of stops.
We're gonna find out. Charles, you ready?
Yep.
Cool.
How many must I kill before I am restored? More. Always more.
Reloading.
Careful here. Yeah?
Hey, yo, tell me if they come in, I'll smoke it off.
Right here.
I hear B. Long.
Launching smoke. Stim beacon down. Launching smoke.
Last player standing.
Enemy spotted, B. You're nothing.
Spike planted.
Nice try.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Yeah, so here's the impact right there. And let's pull off some of this padding right here. That stopped it, dude.
How's the bulge? Oh, it's bulged.
Oh yeah, it's bulged for sure. So we definitely follow.
Safety's off.
You a new Cypher player?
All right.
Smoke's right here.
All right.
Enemy spotted, B.
Gotcha.
See ya. Goner. Smoke's down.
Reload. No peeking.
Here. Trick shots.
Dropping a smoke.
Spike planted.
Launching smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Stim beacon down.
Weapon here.
Nice.
Weapon
Sorry to spoil the party.
Time for them to
Here, Cypher, come here.
Gun here.
All right.
Alright, place a trip, like, right over there until it's diagonal. And then place a trip, like, right over here. And then come on here. And jump on these boxes. And then from here, you can place a camera right over there.
Launching's right here.
That's fine, we'll get him next time, don't worry.
My thanks. Enemy spotted B.
Smoke's down. Right here. Down you go.
Spike planted.
Jet with mouth shot.
Last player standing.
Into that back face deformation, but overall I would say the performance of this helmet is quite good so far. Well, let's step up the shotgun. I don't think it should get through, and then we'll step up the rifle rounds and see how we do.
That's right.
Next up, we have the Benelli M1014/the Benelli M4, a 12-gauge
Last round
semi-automatic
in the half.
shotgun known to be used by the Marine Corps.
Alright, let's get
to
that
do what,
complete
Micah?
spin.
To kill people?
To murder. There we have it. So we're going to be firing full power buckshot at the back of the helmet right here. I suspect, due to the fact that it's about the same power as 9mm, just a bunch of them, it's probably not going to go through. But we're still going to test it.
Nice. Good work. You can maybe put a cage like a little bit inside hookah so they don't see the trick.
Right here.
Here, stay on B.
Right here.
Get out of my way!
Open up the sky! Deep fry! Launching smoke! Enemy down.
You had your fun. My turn.
Oh, she's
Player standing.
Are you?
Spike planted.
Uppercut.
Nah, you gotta breathe.
One enemy remaining.
They don't know about the Cobalt Kisser. Oh shit, good try.
Not going through.
Piece of shit. You ready? Fucking op user.
Good. Don't worry.
Switching sides.
Shoot the bad guys. How's that for a plan?
Definitely your ball.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm.
Yeah, predictably. Yeah. So, we have all the buckshot.
Only if they use it off.
that entered, and
yeah, facts.
As you can see, not a single one actually went
Only
through.
time you're allowed to use an op is when you're playing comp.
And I mean, honestly, that's not a bad bulge. That's like really not that bad of a bulge at all.
No, that ain't bad at all. Well, I think this one's still good. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna move it up to rifle rounds. Now, with rifle rounds, we're gonna be shooting at 100. We decided that point blank rifle rounds are.
Time to get down to breathe.
Shadows traveling.
Launching smoke.
No peeking.
Smoke's down.
Shadows traveling.
Spike planted. Launching smoke. Dim beacon here.
Silence.
One enemy
Down and
remaining.
out. Holly.
Trademark powers in for invincibility.
We know more than we did before.
Real. Get this guy out of here.
Reloading.
You're telling me bro had zero faith in us? That's come on, man.
Yalla, Machina.
Sorry.
Well done.
Launching smoke. Smoke's down. Dim beacon here.
Reloading.
Plant the spike.
One enemy remaining.
My ult is ready.
Planted. My ult ready.
Flawless.
Nice, good job.
Such trash. They will cover. Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them to me.
Gun here.
Reloading. Reloading.
Cover going out.
Now we're cooking.
Nice.
Smoke's down. Launching smoke.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
Stealing sight.
One enemy remaining.
Fire in the hole!
Nah.
Match point.
One downside to being immortal. I can't play dead.
Shadows traveling.
Launching smoke.
Here.
Reloading. No peeking.
Smoke's down. Stim beacon down. Spike planted.
Yeah.
Drop in a smoke.
Who trained you?
I'll place
Open
it
up
if
the
you can, or bring me
sky.
as lineups.
Deep fried. Molly.
Ooh.
Defenders
Good try.
win.
Are probably not the best indicator. So at 100, we'll be testing out, although we might do the AK close because that's AK stuff right there. And this helmet's still good for about one more shot. Let's do it. We are firing standard 122 grain, 7.62 by 39. One of the most common rounds in the world. What did you say, Micah?
Oh, for sure.
All right, Charles, tell me when you're ready.
Good. They think I'm an old dog.
Straight through, dude. Just don't bring a helmet to a rifle fight or just don't get shot in the head. Is that what they say?
Yeah, they say. I think they do say don't get shot in the
I
head.
was actually trying to tell Lincoln that like 2 seconds beforehand, dude, but they stopped to get popcorn.
All right,
The
team.
entry.
Let's go write this war story, shall we?
Yeah, it just zipped right through there.
My ult's ready.
Oh yeah, and it went
Got the
completely through the
spike.
head.
Oh, look at that. Well, we're gonna have to say that he's dead. Now let's see how the NATO weaponry does at 100 yards. Now we're at what I would consider the true combat test. 100 yards using a lot of different NATO weaponry. We'll be starting with the venerable M4A1, which is a 14.5, 5.56.
Molly!
When you're firing 77 grain open tip Sierra Match Kings, that is a go to war ammunition. What is your prediction, Charles?
So we're gonna go to war.
No, that's not what I was asking.
Whatever.
M4A1, 77 grain
Molly.
OTM. Not only did that go in, it also partially, it exited the skull, but got trapped inside the helmet. Micah, come take a look. So that's the entrance wound. It went through, liquefying the skull, and then exited. And he is super dead. So step it up to an M110A1.
Hey.
Yeah, I feel like 308's gonna finally exit
Match
out the entire
found.
skull and out the back of the
You know what? There are better rounds than 308, but it just has killed a lot of people throughout the years.
Yeah, and so we're about to kill one more.
Right here we have essentially the M110A1. This is the MR762A1. Very little difference. We do have a different handguard on there. Otherwise, same suppressor, same barrel length. The ammunition that we're using is a variant of some of the ammunition used by the military, which is 168 grain Sierra Match King I think we'll see excellent performance from the 168, which is a common round used in these. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. No pun intended. I've been a dad for too long. Ready?
Yep.
Well, I don't know what else we expected, but 308's gonna smoke straight through. First off, that's a gruesome shot of the inside of the helmet. Looks like it deformed through the skull and exited out the front of the face. Check the, yeah, 100%. And a complete...
Did you see IKEA getting the Roblox? Oh yeah, IKEA's got the Roblox thing that's coming up, where kids can make an actual wage. This is cool. They found a way to do legal child labor. IKEA will pay people $13.15 an hour to serve meatballs at its virtual Roblox store. I mean, that's probably better than Amazon workers get, and the kids don't have to pee in water bottles. Like, that's pretty good, all things considered. Especially for, like, a starter job. The co-worker game, as it's called, will let players experience working in IKEA's virtual universe. Fans will be able to live their home furnishing dreams and get paid for it with a limited number of paid roles available. Applications run to June 16th with the game itself launching June 24th. I love that idea so much. It's so silly. They get to live their home furnishing dreams. Yes, I remember dreaming of serving meatballs at IKEA as a kid. That's what every kid strives for. God, imagine if a Reddit mod gets that position. That would be the most miserable IKEA manager ever. Those meatballs will be made with fucking hatred.
Reina, there are better ways
We got to return child labor before GTA 6. Yeah, no, that is true, we did.
So
I imagine, like, I'm obviously kidding around here. I imagine they'll only hire 18 plus. Like, there's no way they'd be able to circumvent child labor laws like that, because this is so surface level. Surely they would have thought of that, right? The immersive experience gives players the opportunity to experience IKEA's unique approach to careers where non-linear career journeys are the norm and lateral moves across departments are commonplace. It's foray into mainstream gaming. Yeah, I always wanted IKEA to get into the gaming industry. They're the only ones that can topple the giants. They'll be up there with the big ones. Microsoft will be down in flames, Sony crashes and burns, but IKEA, those games live forever. There are paid shifts on offer for 10 successful applicants to help customers get promoted to move departments working in different sections of the store, like the showroom and bistro, helping people choose furniture and even serving meatballs. We're excited to be the first brand to launch paid work on Roblox to showcase.
Placing sentry. Variable removed. Here. Good.
Fully smoked.
Got three.
Stim beacon here.
One enemy
Taken
remaining.
down.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
Now I know how annoying my healing can be.
Kill my copy.
Smoke's down.
Enemy spotted A.
Cutting their vision.
Stim beacon here.
There.
Reloading.
Launching smoke.
Turret out.
Headshot.
Placing alarm bot.
Spike planted.
Wall raised.
One enemy remaining.
Enemy spotted A.
Molly.
Could have predicted this. Alright, I did.
My smokes can block the enemy's line of sight. Once they're blind, we move. Gun here. Gun here.
Embarrass them. Still in sight.
Smoke's down. Stim beacon down.
Still in sight.
My ult's ready.
Launching smoke.
Enemy spotted A. Placing sentry.
Spike planted.
Many enemies here, nothing. And spotted A. My ult's ready.
Hi!
One enemy
Open up
remaining.
the sky.
Last player standing.
Molly.
Last round before the switch.
If you saved, spend it. Gun here. Have at him.
Spotted B.
Enemy spotted B.
Fully smoked. Stim beacon here.
Enemy spotted B.
Target out.
Enemy spotted.
One enemy remaining.
What's this?
Spike planted.
Looks like I was the stronger one.
Switching sides. Match point.
Let's see. Battles are won by geniuses, and I am a genius. So...
Is how we do careers differently, bringing our unique career philosophy to life. At IKEA, there's no set route to career progression. Our coworkers are able to change roles, switch departments, and grow in any direction they choose, both in-game or in real world. There are many ways to learn and grow at IKEA, and that's what IKEA on Roblox is all about. Can you just tell me the age? Here we go. You have to be 18 plus and in the UK or Republic of Ireland to apply. Successful applicants will be paid $13.15, approximately $16.78 an hour. The IKEA hourly rate of pay for a London member of the staff. The wages match the London living wage set in the UK rather than the lower national living average.
We are immovable.
Smoke's down.
Here. Enemy spotted A. Enemy spotted A. Enemy spotted B.
Launching smoke.
Right there.
One enemy remaining.
There. You were very worth the effort.
Defenders win.
Not even a bad career idea then, if you're just 18 and need some work.
Then we're done.
God, oh my lord, the kids that'll filter into an IKEA through Roblox must be insufferable. Imagine Jim Wool coming into IKEA. There'd be nothing but dust and mangled corpses left. God bless the wage workers in the Roblox IKEA. How pissed are actual IKEA workers right now? Oh, I'd actually be livid. If I was in the corporeal dimension working at IKEA and I saw this come up, I would be so tight. I actually would. Because this is significantly less effort than working at IKEA in the real world, and they're making a comparable wage, I imagine. Oh man, that'd make me so upset. I'd start spitting. Every meatball I'd serve has spit in it. How can that be profitable? For IKEA doing this? It's not. This is one of those things where it's just a good brand opportunity, so they'll just eat the loss. They're not gonna make money. I mean, I guess maybe they will. Roblox is so lucrative. Maybe they will actually make money off this. I don't exactly know how the Roblox economy works, but it actually has a stock market for children already built into it. I'm sure IKEA could tap into that somehow, offering like IKEA-specific items like an IKEA hat, like a fucking meatball bikini or something. Like, I have no doubt they can definitely find a way to make some money on it, but I don't think it's gonna be a big profit.
What are y'all doing today?
It's just marketing.
Anyone
See
got
how
a
bad the
mic?
servers were for... the final shape. I didn't see it. I heard about it. Like I said, I've been like off the grid for the last 5 days, so I haven't seen a lot of stuff that's popped up. But I did see a bit of that, like hear about it. Isn't that just how advertisements work? You pay for the ads, and the ads themselves generate an increase in profits, more or less. This one's a little different though, because you're not only paying for the ad, which is building the world. You're paying for continual workers, like a whole salary on top of it. But yeah, like I said, it's just an ad. It's a marketing play. You put IKEA in front of the faces of millions and millions of children, and then they start tugging at their parents' pants. Mom, Dad, Mima, let's go to IKEA. I want to get their fucking meatballs. I had them in the virtual world and made so many friends. I can't wait. It's a magical wonderland. And then the parents will sign and be like, all right. Burger King is next. That would never happen. If Burger King tried this shit, they would have 0 people apply. They could be offering you $50 an hour, and I feel like no one wants to work at Burger King, even in the virtual world. It's so shameful. Man, I hate that. I hate that restaurant. Please shut it down. God, do us a favor. You think they need insurance for this? I know what you're talking about, but I love the idea that they need, like, workers' comp or something. Like, one of their employees goes in there, and, like, while they're modding the IKEA store, they get, like, carpal tunnel or something, so they sue the real IKEA for workplace-related injuries or some shit. Oh, it's Galaxy Brain. Actually, Galaxy Brain. I was keeping IKEA safe from the riffraff. All of these hooligans.
I paid a heavy price.
IRL, I accidentally slid out from my chair and I fucking hurt myself.
Don't
I blew up.
waste it.
Go, go, go! I'm out of here!
Die.
Reloading! Gotta go!
Launching smoke!
Target sighted. Suppressing.
Reloading.
One suppressed.
Reloading. Reloading.
Down you go.
Bird is dead.
Spike down B.
Where are you?
Fine. Blank. One bullet. Tag 55.
One enemy remaining.
W.
Last player standing. Clutch.
Right, we're literally just
Good
gonna
try.
sit here.
Keep hunting them down. Their sage cannot protect them.
Go, go, go! I'm out of here!
You know what to do.
Gotta go! Reloading. Reloading. Enemy B.
Kill confirmed. Throwing charge.
Reloading. Go, go, work good.
Stim beacon down.
Enemy B. Go, go, go!
Spike planted. Smoke's down.
One enemy remaining.
W. Good shit, team.
Keep yourself together. You can't fall
Go,
apart
go!
now.
My ult's not ready. Gun here.
I'm out of here!
Walls down.
I'm out of here!
Shadows.
Smoke's down. Launching smoke. Stim beacon down.
Suppressing.
Go, go, go! Shortcut! Bring them down! I'm out of here!
On site, so
My
good trade.
territory! Mine! I
Right
have
here.
them now!
Out of charge.
One screens, one heaven.
Spike planted.
Grenade out.
Molly!
Flash!
Last player standing. One enemy
Good try.
remaining.
See what happens. Here comes Goa. Goes on to Albedo.
We're only one round up. We got
Last
this.
round in the half.
I'm serious.
Spend your cash. Don't look back. Gotta go.
Bro! Yo!
Gotta go. Go, go, go.
I will rip the light from
Go, go, go.
shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Smoke's down.
Dim
beacon here.
Target sight.
Reloading. I'm out of here.
Gun here.
There. My ult is ready.
Launching smoke.
Try. My ult's ready.
Out of charges.
Nightmare takes them.
Last player
Oh
standing.
shit, on site, my bad.
Spike planted.
Line up Larry.
Open up the sky! Molly!
Pushing the garage, pushing garage. W. That did line up, that fun did not land. I'm so sorry, Brim.
Switching sides.
Sorry.
It was a good try.
Remember to talk to each other
I saw
out
the
there.
vision.
If we communicate, we win.
Reloading.
Where did that actually land, though?
Gotta go.
Right here.
Ah, okay. Unlucky. Damn, bro.
There.
The spike down A.
Oh, that's
Take this.
Last player standing.
He's got immunity on that thing?
Watch out. Go, go, go.
No Bicorn!
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I'm serious? No soul burn! Another counter! Let's get the fuck out of here. Albedo backline was not it.
Go, go, go. Almost got me. Not. I'm out of here.
Neon. Nice work.
Yippee!
got your back,
Damn, nobody says a word? Okay.
Launching smoke. Smoke's down.
Flash.
Spike planted.
Enemy mid. Down.
Who trained you? Smoke's down. Not the boon you hoped for.
Okay.
Make
Weird.
their fear your weapon. Or use a gun, whichever.
Yo, can I get that Spectre off you? Okay, can I buy it?
Anyone feeling generous?
They Spectre? Did I say Spectre? I'm dumb.
Launching smoke. Molly.
They have 2 Odins. 135 Yoru, 88 Sage. Oh, pop off. One's B, 2A. 2A have Odins.
It's you and me.
If you go mid, you can kill the guy.
Last player standing.
Above you.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Knife deployed.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
Grenade.
30 seconds left.
He's reloading. Good shit.
I'm
You better.
built different.
Match point.
Don't get shot. Human brains are hard to replace.
There. Enemy A.
My ult's ready.
Zova's stunned on your left.
We found one.
My territory!
Sewers.
My rules!
Open up the sky. Deep fried.
Do we have Spike? Mid.
Spike planted.
Who's next? Fully smoked. Stim beacon here.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
What? Good try.
Sudden death.
Look for my shadows, they will hide you. Kill all your opponents. Knife deployed.
They're dead.
40 euro on A.
Marked one.
Stim beacon down.
Rotating.
Right here.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Spike is B.
30 seconds left.
You're better. Let's go.
Defenders win.
I'll clean up. Good fight. Where's you next?
Have a good one.
Actually, I should have gone for the other one, not this one. Oh my god. Yeah, no counter, sure. Just slam it on this one. Let's see what you can do. Well then. Can we kill this one? It'd be nice if we could. No attack buff though.
You'll never take me alive.
Oh shit!
They think I'm an
Get the
old
great attack
dog.
buff, and then we can kill what's his
I'll
face.
show him just how many tricks I know.
Oh my god, K-Run, do you have this, bro?
I would hate working here. You couldn't pay me to sit at a desk. My ult's ready. Got the spike. Spike dropped. Molly! 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 Got the spike. Spike dropped. Molly! 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 Molly!
Wait, she stripped? Okay, let's not fuck around anymore. Oh my god, there was just a Senya here too. Normally how I deal with teams like this is I do this, okay? I do Wandering Prince Sit, and I do Spez, and it's 100%
Match found.
So Senya, the bottom team, who can drop below 50% AC? I know who. Arbiter, Mildred, and then Blood Moon Haze. It's actually a good comp. Let's go. Dude, there's no way! These chumps are faster than me?
I'll show him just how
Win
many
is
tricks I
win.
know.
Look at how much AP she has. You will never know. She's dead anyway. Express goes done. Stun this and we win. I'm gonna strip the immortality here with this. Easy, bro. Okay, the real Senya debut, guys. Wait, I don't have Soul Soul with this team. That's the problem, right? I don't have Soul. Wait, RB's not dead. Bro, I need RB to die yesterday!
Everything about this says exactly what I am and who I am as a person.
Give me feedback. Okay, good job. Wait, I should have S3, because I would reset cooldown, right? My bad. We'll do that later. RB, don't die now, though. You know what? It doesn't matter, RB. Wait, who the hell provoked me? Jeez. My haste? Hey, bro! Are we dead? I do this. Okay, I wait for the souls. I don't have the soul. I need to do it now, because we don't have the hand buff anymore. Oh, 9,000! You just Randy! You got black. Whatever, we win. Win is win. You know what? That's okay. We take this last one, we do it proper. Damn, no more RB. Who else can die? We have to limit this. Okay, well, what about this bottom team here? Let's go with Celine. Let's go with Paladus. It's free win, literally. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm just excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Nice, we got it. I'm just gonna send it on this one, okay? And then we soulward later. We send it here now. So this is without soulward. 6.5k without 3F. We didn't pop the 3F though. Hey, hey! Oh my god!
Raindrops are falling on my head.
Well. Oh shit, we lost. Celine had more attack than Janua. What happened there? Oh! The Spirit Eye Celine outspat the Ron. I mean, it doesn't matter. This guy's not K-Ron.
No, no, no. I'm better.
silence, right? Ignore resist onto K-Rod.
Give me your best shot, bitch.
I'm scared. I don't want to do it. We do this. I mean, that's fine. Can't do this one. Why did I go on Brazier, guys? That was a mistake. I wanted this over for him because now I can do this, right? See, I can do this. 230 effectiveness! What the fucking off game? I'm so pissed that this happened. Would you get counted? No, we did a procky Mercati! No! I need a procky Mercati so my Veronica can do Veronica things! No! Oh! Hold up. Look at the barrier. The problem is you don't get your turn now because I used it by accident. Let's go on you. Wait, didn't I already? Wait, I didn't proc for the bomb? Oh my god, I fucked up. I thought that proc for the bomb, guys. It's okay, we win though. We still win. No, we still win. I think the first thing I want to do first is take this kill.
It's open season on the enemy Reyna. If you get a shot at that heart, take it.
Now Senya, we do this. Yeah, nah. So this is gonna kill? I'm not kill, but both immortality. Yeah, cool. And guess who's turn is it? It's Veronica. Yeah. There's no more immortality. You can pick Veronica, Jack Ryan with Senya, and it'll be fine. And that's how you do paid actors.
Launching smoke. Hot shot.
God, British.
Placing sentry. Enemy spotted B. Hostile removed.
Take hold.
Enemy
Is
spotted.
that 7 HP or 7 damage?
One enemy remaining. Spike down
Bring
B.
them down.
And we're clear.
They're on the back foot. Let's deliver another blow.
Turret out.
I'm gunning for chamber.
Alarm bot out.
Smoke's down. Molly. Smoke's down.
Enemy mid. Enemy spotted mid.
Out of here.
Spike down mid.
Enemy spotted B.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
I hate visiting underground doctors.
I'll shut them down. Until then, survive.
Placing sentry.
Watch and learn.
Alarm bot out.
Launching smoke. Molly.
Turrets destroyed. The allies are bet. Where is everyone hiding?
One enemy
Now
remaining.
we're cooking.
Spike
Miles
down
ready.
mid.
Spike spotted mid. I would let you live, but that does not compute.
Last round before the switch.
Nothing will be saved after this. Use it.
Turret out. Nice and easy.
Placing alarm bot.
Stim beacon here.
Turret down.
The hunt begins.
Careful now.
Target
Right here.
A. Target A6. Reloaded.
Caught one. Found you.
One enemy remaining.
Open up the sky.
Switching sides. Match point.
I knew this would be easy, but meine Güte.
Advance. Shutting them down. Two suppressed.
Where are you?
Fully smoked.
Turret out.
Stim beacon down.
Someone is beat.
Last player standing.
This will make it so obvious? That's how you do it. Guys, you think like that? Idiot. It matters we lost. Maya faster than my life. I think it's 51 here, guys. Wait.
I find them.
does Didier
I
full
kill them. Simple as that.
I like it, Kaji.
Say goodnight, motherfucker. Worry not. Why do you think he can debug the hand? The hand literally tells you it's not even a scan. Ooh, not bad at all.
Don't overthink it. That's my job.
I'll find you.
Placing sentry. Bring them down.
Stim beacon here.
Someone is beat.
Launching smoke. Spike planet. Smoke's down. Holly.
One enemy remaining.
Bells ready.
Last player standing.
Turret down. Placing swarm grenade. Oh!
Attackers win.
Not bad. 2v4. And that's all the time we have for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next one. Bye.
Nelson Sexton, who is the founder of Smartly Dressed Games, and is responsible for creating Unturned, a game that's popular on Steam with
Match found.
50,000 concurrent players, putting in the top 20 games on Steam. How did he get to this point? On the 26th of July 2009, Nelson would join Roblox under the alias Zack, where he would learn Roblox coding language Lua and create quite a few games in the process, some being Tornado, Counter-Strike Fusion, Modern Bloxsphere, Craftmine, Row House, and Next Gen Combat, with a lot of test demos of ideas and tie-ins with other games or movies like Doctor Who or Team Fortress 2. This would help him develop his skills of coding and building, which would prove useful for his next endeavor. On January 1st, 2013, a user by the name of Dead Zone Zack would create his account and then, on the same day, start working on a game called Dead Zone. which is, you know, the accounting after, which is an apocalypse-based game where you had to find items to survive, that being building materials, guns, that can be modified, and the game features like a safe zone where you can store your precious items that you don't want to lose because the game has PvP, so when another player kills you, they can loot what you had on you, and that's lost forever. The game released a great success, gathering up to 5 million players, with it getting roughly 1,000 concurrent players, which in 2013 was quite impressive, and sat often at the front of the page of Roblox. But that doesn't mean it wasn't met with some backlash, as at the time there was another game doing a similar thing as Dead Zone called Apocalypse Rising, with some of the comments like, Dead Zone equals ripoff of AR, hashtag fully body trained. It's a copy of Apocalypse Rising. You are a copy of Apocalypse Rising. Then what are the differences between both games? What makes them unique? Well, Apocalypse Rising is more slow pace, with you spawning into the world, finding items in buildings like you would like in a popular battle royale genre, with the inclusions of cars, modifications to help improve your guns, similar to Dead Zone. But the difference with Dead Zone is that it offers like a safe zone as well on top of it, so if you have like some important loot you want to keep safe, you can just store it in that safe zone, and all the good loot you find, so then when you play again, you can grab that loot and go back in. So it's like offering like a safety net sort of, so that you at least got some loot to fall back on, whereas Apocalypse Rising, once you're dead, you've lost it all. That wouldn't stop the game from growing. As on the 13th of February 2013, a month after the game was created, Roblox published a video on their channel reviewing the game, giving it more exposure to a wider audience. The review gives a decent overlook on what the game is like and how it is similar to Apocalypse Rising, but in their own ways. Sometime around July 2013, the holder account for Battlefield and Dead Zone were hacked, causing the games to become uncopylocked, meaning any user on Roblox can take a copy of the games for themselves and upload it to Roblox, which a lot of people did, causing there to be many clones of Dead Zone. With the games, you spent a lot of time working on just being uncopylocked for anyone to take. Nelson would later go on to Roblox forums to post this: I am quitting Roblox because it's a ridiculous system. The Roblox staff does whatever they can do to help their favorite place, but they don't fix fundamental bugs that
Feels
stop
like
people.
we're being watched.
Anyone played ISO before?
From making amazing things. Throughout the 5 years I've been making on this side, Roblox has consistently broken games through updates, always had hacked packs, allowing users to steal places and insert scripts. These exploits should have been on the top of their list to fix, yet they're still occurring today. It does not seem worth it to me to make games when other people will eventually steal them, claim them as their own, and everyone will fall for it. But little did he know, this was a blessing in disguise. After getting nowhere with Roblox support system not helping him out getting his games back and removing all the copies of Dead Zone, what happened to Nelson? Well,
to make him weak and a wall you can throw up, and your ult is just a 1v1 box. Pretty cool.
Smoke's down, right here.
Fight me now.
They're pushing me, PvP.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
Reyna went CT. Careful flank, careful flank.
Right here.
Last player standing.
he moved over to Uni. Well, sort of. He decided to make
Drink
a browser
some
version,
water,
and that was
reload
good.
your mags, and let's get
So most
back
of those
out
features
there.
were still the same, but in a browser version, just more polished up with extra features as well. The game had this pixel-like design similar to Minecraft and Terraria, and it was very difficult to play, with the zombies feeling broken at times, with them getting attracted to you from no matter what behind walls or from afar, and then just never stop following you. Even if you run out of stamina, the horde will just catch up to you and just absolutely obliterate you, and it just feels so jarring to play with those main issues. But a lot of the game is there, like the hunger, the health, the stamina.
Time's up. Let's go.
Where is he? Launching smoke. Gotcha.
One enemy remaining. Spike down, C.
Stim beacon down.
The hunt begins.
Careful.
Probably flying.
Smoke's down. Focusing.
Drop in a smoke.
Launching smoke.
Enemy spotted C.
Last one down. Reloading.
They're challenging us. Good. Right here. Smoke's down.
Oh my, they're all dead.
Drop in a smoke. Enemy spotted A. Reloading. Blocking sight.
Launching smoke.
Up.
Molly.
One enemy remaining.
For a break.
Last round in the half.
Nothing will be saved after this. Use it.
Good luck.
Oh yeah!
Smoke's
Monster
down.
on the loose!
Molly.
Blocking sight. Blocking sight.
Enemy down. Out of charges.
Caught one.
Right here.
Stim beacon down.
They're on cover.
Get out of my way.
Behind you.
Spike planted.
Hi. Bye. Camera taken out.
One enemy remaining.
Behind you.
My ult is ready.
Waterfall.
No peeking.
Right here. My ult's ready. Sorry to spoil the party. Open up the
Switching
sky.
sides.
One of my cameras is broken. Oh, wait. Okay. It's fine.
Wait, Jet, what sheriff do you have?
Huh?
Can I get a sheriff?
I need a gun.
Oh shite, I lost my pet rock.
Launching smoke.
Not enough.
Nice shot.
Reloading.
Launching smoke.
Right here.
Smoke's down.
Reloading.
Over there. I have planted the spike. Tripwire destroyed.
They got flank wire.
One enemy remaining.
No peeking. Aw, I thought you'd try harder.
Match point.
Love it when they make it easy for us. Do it again.
Launching smoke.
Enemy spotted A.
Stim beacon here.
Stand aside. Reloading.
No peeking.
Launching smoke.
I have planted the spike.
My
Smoke's down.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
I'm not killing.
And
All right.
I can get back into work, but
We're finished here.
It's just very bare bones.
in terms of like how it looks with like the user interface, but it does get the job done, and it's a working point for later builds of the game to build on. In 2014, the browser version of the game was discontinued and instead moved over to Steam in the early access after being accepted from the Greenlight program, which is now defunct. The game was like the browser version, but felt a little bit more better. Like the zombies weren't as like brutal to you, I would say. Like they just weren't like latching onto you no matter what. They had a bit of AI to them, like behind walls they weren't as attracted to you, as well as it gives you like a much closer distance until they notice you. As well as I noticed that a lot more of the buildings around the map felt a lot more detailed as towards the 2013 browser version. There weren't as much detail towards buildings and how they looked, as well as the inventory had a new change in layout, as well as the UI still looking about the same, but had a lot more options towards it, expanding on what was already there. It still has features like I said, zombies were still kind of broken. Like even if you get a bunch of hearts.
They think I'm an old dog? I'll show them just how many tricks I know.
They will follow you no matter what until the end of the earth, as well as they still a bit janky. Like when you try and hit them, it doesn't really hit register sometimes, or that's just me being bad. Could be both. And they land a couple of hits in, which is fair play, but it's not as brutal as the 2013 version. So where are the games at now? Well, Unturned is currently getting more and more popular by each day by looking at the statistics on SteamDB, as well as receiving constant bi-weekly updates to the game, and also having a giant modding scene giving more life to the game and replayability, and growing a giant community towards it, as well as making a sequel to Unturned, which is more like an update, but it's classed as Unturned 2, so it's close enough. But it's been postponed due to the creator, Nelson Sexton, having childhood trauma with him going to post on the Unturned forum. Over the past several months, more details have slowly come to light. It seems that I have a large memory gaps until 2017 to 2018 when I moved out on my own, and my memory gradually improves from then on forward. Trying to process everything that is coming up has been a big focus over the years so far. I have been to a few therapists over this period, and up to about a dozen sessions now. I am an optimistic for improving mental health to benefit the game dev. That being said, I think that in order to streamline the work side of life or increase personal side, I need to cut everything back to only develop.
Let's not mess that up. I'm out of here.
No. Have you heard about the neon buffs?
Yep.
Da.
Yes. Nope.
No. Be quiet. Be quiet. Need a drop.
Yes. Go, go, go.
Enemy missed.
Shock dart.
Smoke's down.
Shock dart.
Enemy spotted.
Right here.
Stim beacon down.
Reloading.
Alright, let's go.
Spike planted. Launching smoke.
On site.
Last player standing.
I got you, bro.
Developed in Unturned 3.0, which is the main branch of Unturned and not Unturned 2, which is classed as 4.0. What about Apocalypse Rising? Well, after that game came out many years ago, it got a sequel that was in paid beta for a few years until recently. It's now able to be played for free and feels more polished to what the original was like, with the UI and how the map
What do
looks.
you say,
It feels
drone?
more like a
Ready
full-fledged
to
game with how
stretch
it looks,
your
as well as
wings?
it feeling pretty good to play, as the guns feel nice to shoot, and everything feels more user-friendly with like how the numbers pop up on the screen to show how much damage you did to a other player, as well as having like these big blocks of weapons to show how much space they take. It's similar to like how Tarkov does their inventory, if you get that idea. I personally think it's a pretty good game, and I think you should check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to give it a try. It's on Roblox. I hope you like this video. It's a bit different than what I usually do, but it's still similar, as I think it's just music, albums, and stuff like that going into history, but I want to do with like
Okay.
Revealing area.
Nothing.
Launching smoke.
Multiple enemies mid.
Right here. Reloading.
Man. Behind.
Caution here.
Enemy spotted mid.
Enemy down. Reloading.
here. Smoke's down. Out of charges.
Thanks. You can plant.
Spike planted.
Last player standing.
Molly.
Games as well, and then just ramble, sort of. It's like provide information, but also like give like reasons and stuff like that. Hopefully it's fine. I want to probably do more of this in the future if people like it. And I also want to do like a long length video, probably like half an hour to like an hour long, of like I guess genre maybe, of like a bunch of games I love and can go on about and go give more detail. But if you see that, just let me know and I'll craft it. It might take you forever, but whatever.
can't get
I'll
over
love to do
that
it. So yeah, if you like the video, just feel free to like it. If not, dislike it, and I'll see you some other time.
No.
You want a skin?
Need a drop. Thanks.
Salamat, thanks.
No.
We are gonna move on, okay? Because I.
Kill my copy.
I'm out of here.
Enemy spotted mid.
Take this.
Scanning ahead.
Watch out. I'm out of here. We're good.
Nothing.
Enemy kill.
Got your fun. My turn.
Tree.
Dim beacon here.
Ready.
Get out of my way.
Enemy spotted mid.
Spike down A.
Yeah, you got that neon.
It's you and me.
Can't use it.
Last player standing.
You know, people want to get.
Last round before the switch.
There's gonna be something shown.
Buy all you need.
Is that Charlie Armadillo? How not to respond to allegations? Uh-oh.
I'm last on.
Go, go.
Hello. Going C.
Staunch the bleeding.
No.
Fight back. Take this.
Take flight. Launching smoke.
Good attempt.
Dim beacon
Nice.
here.
Let me get orb.
Reloading. Here we go.
My ult is ready.
Bro, I'm stuck inside.
Open up the sky. Deep fried.
Blocking sight.
Right here. I am the hunter.
One enemy remaining.
Molly.
Last player standing. Switching sides.
Lola was right. Weeds are difficult to kill.
Thanks. Yes. Going C. No. No. Thanks.
Oh, we can both do it.
Reloading. Caution here. Yes. Yes.
Keep up.
Nope.
Smoke's down. Revealing area.
There.
Hey. Oh, mid,
Right
right here.
Smoke's down.
Enemy A.
Spike planted.
Scanning ahead.
Launching smoke.
There they are.
Last player standing.
They're everywhere.
Down and out.
Match point.
Stay in range of my stim beacon, and we'll mow them down.
Fall back.
Rotate.
Rein him in.
Right here.
Launching smoke.
Is it A?
No.
Right here.
Revealing area. Right here.
One down.
Smoke's down.
Your fault.
Still got it.
They got an Odin, bruh. They got.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Last player standing.
He's inside.
30 seconds left.
Oh.
Time to stock back up.
Right here. Kill my copy. No. No.
No.
Get out of my way!
There.
Hey?
There. Here.
My ult's ready.
Oh, man.
Launching smoke. Headshot.
Inside.
Right here. Right here.
Gotta go! Watch out!
Last player standing. Attackers win.
Again, we have seen influencers and celebrities' careers get destroyed after just one controversy. We've also seen celebs totally ignore their crimes or accusations and continue to succeed while the internet argues back and forth.
Well, I mean, you can't compare Chris Brown to Angry Reacts, okay? If we're being completely honest. If we're being completely honest, bro, okay?
But almost never have we seen someone accelerate their own controversy to the masses and declare their own career as over after being proven innocent of their crimes. Angry Reactions is one of the most famous and beloved TikTokers of all time who decided to abandon his career after TMZ reported that he was arrested for domestic abuse.
Yo, what? And it was a lie? Oh my gosh, bro.
And even though he has thousands, millions of people proclaiming his innocence, he still feels he has to clear his name. Little did he know, clearing his name would actually just leave him in a deeper, darker hole.
Now, how does that make sense? How does that make any sense whatsoever?
Put her hands on me. I've never called the police on her. She's showing bruises of me defending myself from her. And she's making the internet think that... No.
bro. You know this, bro. You know this, bro.
During the height of the pandemic, Wonye Johnson.
Yo, somebody should have told him not to do
Everyone in
this.
chat is a fucking pussy. Rocky video is professional as fuck and would never spoil.
I mean, he's always given. It's always given professional. His videos is always given professional. But I mean, chat was saying, bro, it's spoils. You gonna get spoiled, bro. So I was listening to chat too, so they wouldn't get that, bro. Because I don't want to get. I mean, I would like not to get spoiled. So I said, all right, bro. I'm not going. You know.
Who goes by the name Angry Reactions on TikTok exploded in
Why
virality.
do people turn the camera on and cry? Well, to be fair, okay, he probably turned the camera long before he started crying. No, people. I seen a video of some girls setting up her, like, she put her phone on her car or whatever, and was crying, and I mean, like gasping for air to breathe, bro. Like it was so embarrassing. Why do you do that stuff and then post it? You did that and then posted it. Like what?
After posting this video reacting to a girl making a cake.
Can I start off by saying, can y'all like not be mean to me? Like,
Who be mean to you?
or people always will say shit like, oh, if you're a creator, make content, you have to expect hate. Like, you can get mad about it, whatever. Like, I'm sensitive, y'all. You tell me my cakes look like shit. Yeah,
Who said your cakes look like
that being said, all y'all in comments. I hope you know that.
The video amassed more than 40 million views in 24 hours. Viewers love the dichotomy of him looking extremely aggressive and intimidating, yet screaming words of positivity and support. If I passed you on the street and I don't say a word, I look like the angriest person in the world. But when you actually get to know me, I'm actually a really positive.
himself even if I thought he was innocent. After watching the clip, whatever they accused this Hulk ass nigga of, he probably did the shit with my brother who is your PR team.
Yeah, it's like, why would you your name was already getting cleared, but obviously once the accusations begin, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. If you get cleared, like, people don't care about that. They just care about the initial thing.
The person. At the time of filming his viral video, Wonye was actually homeless, living in the car his videos were filmed in after his landlord evicted him. According to Johnson and his ex, Jillian, neighbors complained on countless occasions and allegedly called the cops for overhearing loud shouting matches. Johnson told BuzzFeed News there were never any charges pressed against him, and that he and his ex are on good terms today. Johnson's ex, Jillian, confirmed these accounts. Wonye is big, and his voice is bigger than mine, so neighbors could only hear him. Jillian said about why their landlord evicted him. I'm not sure why he decided to tell BuzzFeed that he was involved in domestic disputes while receiving his first major press interview, but it's interesting that his involvement in domestic altercations was a topic of discussion from the very beginning of his career.
Oh, dog. Like, is this the girl that accused him of the lie? Yo, someone says that Pearl. It does look like her. It does look like her, bro. Live by the milk? Yeah, by the milk. Okay, let's hear this out. Maybe it's not her. Maybe she's just a nice girl. Okay, chat's saying it is her. Okay.
Career. Despite the setbacks in his life, posting this one video gained him 700,000 followers overnight and over 1 million in less than 24 hours.
What?
From there, a trend emerged where artists of all different kinds began making artwork of his angry face, to which he would react to and shower them with compliments.
What is that?
Silence.
Oh my gosh. I see.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
Somebody's there.
Grounded.
Multiple enemies A.
Get him, wingman.
Our carrier's down.
Spike down A.
Stim beacon down.
Spotted A.
Gotcha.
One enemy remaining.
Planted.
Reloading.
Yikes. Silence.
Reloaded.
Silence.
No.
Keep hitting them like that, and this job is done. Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
Hey.
No.
Silence.
Hey.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Take the bullet. Silence.
Spotted A.
Enemy A.
I'll find you. Mark 3.
Smoke's down.
Right where I thought.
Stim beacon down.
Reloaded.
Now we're cooking.
Enemy attacker spawn. Right there.
Enemy A. Bring them down.
Embarrassing.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
My ult is ready. Did I get inside her? Bring them down.
That's me. How you doing this?
Get
Ow!
out.
Explain yourself.
Remember
This is
my
fantastic.
life.
Go.
No
That's me.
one
What's going
will
on?
harm our little hero.
No, this is the spoiled milk pearl girl. It is her. She probably calling him all sorts of niggatry while riding the big back nigga.
Oh my god, you gotta take it there.
Wonye quickly became people's daily dose of positivity and motivation. He built his entire brand about uplifting people, spreading good news, and providing a necessary break to the endless amount of negativity poisoning social media. This is a tall task for someone living out of their car during the pandemic, but people loved angry reactions. He shot up to 7 million followers in 3 months and eventually would surpass.
Reloading. Silence.
Dizzy's up.
I'll find you.
Smoke's down.
Enemy mid.
Mark 2. Bring them
Enemy
down.
spotted mid.
Bring them down.
Launching smoke. Stim beacon here.
They're blind with fear.
Nightmare, take them!
Spike down B.
Try again.
Last player standing.
Has an astonishing 27 million followers, which is in the top 130 accounts across the entire platform. His whole life changed. He was making a full-time income on TikTok, securing huge brand deals with Pizza Hut, Hyundai, Planet Fitness, and inspiring millions of people all around the world. And over the past 3 years, he has become one of the most overwhelmingly beloved TikTok creators, which is why his fans were shocked to read on February 18, 2024, Angry Reactions Wanye Johnson arrested for alleged domestic violence. According to the TMZ report, Wanye Johnson was arrested on the evening of Monday, February 12th in Burbank, California after a woman called from a hotel to report an altercation. Cops say that Johnson and the woman got into a verbal argument that turned physical at one point. We're told the woman did not need medical attention, but Wanye was still booked on a felony domestic violence charge. He posted $50,000 bail and was released. Now you'd expect this story would be huge news, but really the only major news publication that reported it was the New York Post. Some bigger blogs like Unilad and Complex reported the story, but let's be honest, do TikTok users even pay attention to what major news outlets are reporting? They look to their favorite TikTokers to report drama, crime, and current events. But even those people weren't exactly flooding the algorithm with this story. I only found one TikTok with over 1 million views, and based on comments like, why am I seeing this in April, with a whole thread of people replying the same thing, leads me to believe that people found out about his arrest months after the whole thing was over and resolved. Then again, I am aware that many reporters could have deleted their TikToks after the story played out a little more. But it's safe to assume that most people found out about Wanye's arrest when he addressed it directly on his own.
That's when I found out. I just seen this on my feed, and I was like, what? And this is when I found out about the whole thing. This is why a lot of times when something happens, like, especially if you've been proven innocent, like, you don't even bring it up, bro. You continue posting and doing what you was doing, like nothing even happened, bro.
Last
now everybody going up.
All the news articles, all the pages posting me, all the comments, all the TikTok videos you're making about me destroying my character. I want to start this video off right. I don't think
But it's kind of different though, because that's the way the algorithm
Silence.
works. If you see something, of course, and somebody's making it about you, you're gonna click it to see what it is.
Silence.
And once you do,
No.
Teşekkürler. Thank you.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Where are
Someone's launching smoke. My old dim beacon here.
Blow him up, Mosh.
Come on, let's go.
Reloading.
Someone's
Bring them down. Bring them down.
Run, little man.
Nice. We'll catch them.
Smoke's down.
Reloading. There.
Going up. Reload him.
Reloading. I'll find you.
Damn.
Mark
Rash
2.
is ready.
Last
Get
player
out of my
standing.
way.
One enemy remaining.
do that, you're gonna get more things that resemble whatever it was that you just clicked. So to him, his feed, all he probably sees is people making videos about him and talking about him. So he thinks everybody doing it. When in reality, bro, a lot of people didn't even know until they just posted the video. Damn. But it's like, bro, if you see people bashing and dragging your name and making jokes about a serious situation, you're gonna want to address it too.
Switching sides.
TikTok had no idea about the arrest before he addressed it. His video received 786,000 likes and over 7 million views. His side of the story got more views than any other version of the story.
I'm gonna give y'all a detail I feel like y'all need to know. This
Yeah, I feel
was
bad
a
for
situation
kind of fucked up.
me getting attacked from a woman and defending myself. I was being attacked by a woman, and the slightest bit of defense landed me in jail. I don't know why everything happened the way it did. I don't know why it's a felony case, because once the cop showed up, she didn't even want me to go to jail. She was begging them not to take me to jail. I done lost friends, I done lost endorsements, I done lost sponsors, I done lost a lot of things in these past 24 hours.
Damn.
All off for accusation.
It's also important to understand that the masses did not know who his girlfriend was. Sierra Willman was his girlfriend involved in the case, and she's also the mother of his then 6-month-old child.
Y'all had a child together? I didn't know they was even like, I didn't know they was like that deep. Also didn't even know they, holy shit.
Make them fight for it.
Smoke's down.
Enemy spotted A. Dizzy has multiple enemies A.
Launching smoke. Stim beacon down.
A. Enemy spotted A.
Last player standing.
Smoke's down.
Their jet has nothing on me. I got her.
Come on, little homies. Let's get it.
Launching smoke.
Enemy A. Someone's A. Someone's there.
Stim beacon down.
There. Mark 2.
Launching smoke.
Enemy spotted A.
Neon stop.
Spike planted.
Bring them down.
Smoke's down.
Enemy spotted A.
Right between the eyes.
Last player standing. Match point.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Need equipment. Need equipment. Thanks.
Dream big, make it happen.
Thanks. Launching smoke.
Mark 2. Someone's A.
My ult's ready. Stim beacon here.
Someone's A.
Smoke's down.
Spotted A. Mush got him.
Open up the sky.
Deep
fried.
And you're done. Thrash is ready.
Bring them down.
Reloading.
Out of charges.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. Last player standing.
You want to play? Let's play.
All the positive content I push out into the world, and I couldn't even get the benefit of the doubt.
Never will happen, bro. Never will happen.
People immediately crucified me before I even shot into this world, and I couldn't even get the benefit of the doubt.
Never will happen, bro.
You see?
All the
There's
positive
still
content I
plenty
push
of
out into this
fun to
world,
be
and I couldn't even get the benefit of the doubt.
Never will happen, bro. Never will happen.
People immediately crucified me before I even found out what actually happened, and I just find that so crazy.
Crucified is an extreme word here. Most people were confused, unsure, or totally unaware of his case. Most of the reports on his case were very unbiased and neutral.
This all started with a verbal argument that turned physical with a woman that Angry Reactions was with in a hotel. It's currently not known how the woman knows Angry Reactions. All we know is that she did not need medical attention after this altercation.
But since his entire brand was about love and positivity, even the slightest bit of uncertainty probably felt like a monsoon of hate.
Get out of my way!
My ultimate's ready. Enemy mid. Come on, let's go. Target down. They're blind with fear.
Stim beacon here.
Hi! Piss!
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
There you are, you shit.
Molly.
Sudden death.
Sorry.
Inside joke.
Keep quiet.
Silence.
Fall back.
Take silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
Silence.
No.
I'll clip that jet. Silence.
Launching smoke.
We'll catch them. Someone there. We found one.
Hush. Spike planted.
Go get him, buddy. Mosh pit.
Sorry, bro.
Enemy B.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate's ready. Come on, let's go! Careful now. Going up. All good.
Clutch. Defenders win.
That's going on a highlight reel for sure. They're done. Who's up next?
Yeah, this is, once you have like, you know, such a positive boost, like since the start of your TikTok career, it's been nothing but positive comments or like, yo, dude, this dude's funny. And you start seeing the negative ones, it's a shock. It's like, yo, what the fuck?